With the Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another day of NGS. Today we have the Nexus Division Grand Finals. This is the big day. This is what it's all come down to. And it's going to be Slang Bros versus Boogans Forever. Now we already have the maps picked and banned. Slang Bros banned away Volskaya and Towers of Doom. And they won the coin flip, so they got first pick. And then Boogans Forever banned away Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now Boogans Forever decided on Infernal Shrine, so that is going to be the first map that we are going to be going towards. So going to be a lot of fun to see just how well it's going to go. And I believe we are already going into draft. Alright, and here we are. Game number 1 getting started already. Infernal Shrine, Slang Bros do get the first pick. So, naturally, they're also going to get the first ban. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to target off the side of Infernal Shrines. I don't think that Boogans Forever really have any individual hero that is absolutely oppressive that is kind of unique to them. And that could be seen as a weakness, but I personally think it's a strength. Because it means that they don't have any of that specialty, because them as a team just play together and individually are so talented that they're able to win those games even without having those extreme pocket picks available. So the Hanzo is going to be banned away first, and then Maiev going to be banned away from Boogans Forever. Stukov as well will get banned away by Slang Bros. So final pick, and the Lucio will get banned away. Now, last series I casted, Slang Bros, they picked a lot of Hogger for Sexy Exy, and yep, that's exactly where we're going to go. It is Infernal Shrines. Hogger is very powerful over on this map, but instant lock-ins coming back from Boogans Forever. Anduin and Leoric. I'm surprised at how quickly they picked that. It seems like they knew the Hogger was going to be going. They knew what they were going to pick into it. And maybe they're thinking that Sexy Exy's Hogger is not quite as terrifying as Chromie and Joanna going to get locked in as well. Now the next few bans may start getting a little bit interesting because no healer has been locked in yet for Slang Bros. Rhaegar and Brightwing are kind of the two big healers still left available for them. And I could definitely see Rhaegar being useful, because one thing right now that Slang Bros are lacking, honestly, not too much, just consistent healing. I was trying to think of something. I thought there was going to be something, but yeah, no, they just need a healer, and their team comp's fine, really. But the Deathwing and Sylvana is going to get banned away, and the Deathwing is a very interesting ban. Boogans Forever already showing Lazy Hydra on the Leoric, so it does seem like they're more concerned about a potential triple bruiser comp or double bruiser something or other. But they already have the combo, the Entombment to Light Bomb. Now I'm wondering if they're going to try playing further into it. Genji is still available if they want to do the X-Strike Light Bomb combo. That is something Boogans Forever can do should they choose to. And they're going to lock in Diablo Greymane. So lots of health up front, lots of DPS. Isaac on the Greymane, going to be dealing very consistent DPS. Greymane is very good for that. And the Sergeant Hammer is going to get locked in for Zimbo. Now that is going to change the way this game is played. And they don't really have a good team comp to really deal with the Sergeant Hammer. Maybe later on when the Entomb Silence comes out for Lazy Hydra. But up until level 20, Zimbo's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. As Final Stand will lock in the Rhaegar to round off their team comp. So lots of poke coming out from Slang Bros. Their engage is a little bit lacking, but when you have this much range, when you have this much poke with the Chromie and with the Sergeant Hammer, you don't really need to engage. Honestly, you probably don't even want to. And the 10th pick will be Mephisto going to non-champion. And that's going to be a pretty solid character to pick. Mephisto can jump onto Sergeant Hammer. And if the Sergeant Hammer is in siege mode, can output DPS much faster than the Hammer can dish it out. So could be a good answer for it, but it is still the one hero that's going to be able to deal with it. Once they get their ultimates online, once they get to level 20s, will be more even out. But without further ado, let's get into game number 1. Alright, and we're just finishing loading in right now. But here we are. Game number 1 between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever. We are on Infernal Shrine, so let me see if there's been any last second trickery. But so far, everyone's kind of on the heroes that they were hovering to begin with. It is interesting to see Final Stand be on healer. Typically, Final Stand, I mean, I don't know why I remember Final Stand as the false stat player, but I've seen a couple games and a lot of really nice plays coming out on Final Stand's false stats, so guess that's kind of what's been etched in my memory. But we'll be on the Rhaegar today, so gonna be playing more of the backline, healing a little bit more, and very useful for the team composition anyway, being able to flex like this. But now, they are moving around the map a little bit differently. Slang Bros is just going to be taking that immediate mid lane priority, and we'll start using the Dragon's Breath. But now the Shadow Charge onto Adventurer. Chastise not going to land, so no follow-up will be happening. But they do have all 5 members from Boogans Forever here now. And Lazy Hydra will be using the Wraithwalk to get out. Non-champion dealing a decent amount of damage with the Lightning Nova. The fighting is still continuing, but no one's going to go down. But one very big thing to note is 6 stacks of unyielding power for non-champion already. And being able to stack that early does so much for Mephisto. And look at that, they have even more. Calavoth does go in, but will be forced away. And now with that, 12 stacks already on unyielding power. Stormcaller is going to be getting raised as well. However, that's not really going to mean quite as much as the Skull Missile talent. Wraithwalk going to be utilized by Lazy Hydra just to get to the top lane, as Sexy Exy is already pushing onto the wall. Only dealing a little bit of damage, but so not going to matter too much. However, during this moment, Boogans Forever will take the neutral siege camp, and the natural siege camp will get taken by the Slang Bros. So one siege camp is still available. It is favoring Boogans Forever in terms of positioning, as Spawn Champion going to consistently get those Skull Missiles out, almost at that 20 stack breakpoint, where the Skull Missile deals, I believe it's an extra 100 damage? Yeah, 100 damage. And that 100 adds up a lot. It's not a very long cooldown. And on Champion, just consistently jumping on his Zimbo. But now the fight over the siege camp is beginning. Sovereign trying to walk forward, but Isaac will be able to just stand on it with Calavoth. So Slang Bros trying to play a little bit aggressively, but they were not able to get anything for themselves. And now they are going to be starting back up. Non-champion is going to be clearing away this lane as level 4 is hit by both sides. And I do believe that sounds a little bit loud. Just a little. There we go. Alright, now Isaac and Thundercats are going to be hitting onto their Bruiser camp. And Sexy Exy is going to be taking theirs. So it's going to be matched Bruiser camps right now, as the Shrines will be spawning at the 3-minute mark. So both teams trying to get prepared for it. Zimbo going to have the original push over in the bot side, and Calavoth will be able to get the charge. Sorry, this Shadow Charge is still available, but just going to use the overpower. Non-champion sitting at 17 stacks. And as far as the other quests are going, as Boogans Forever tried to do an aggressive play, but we're just a little bit too slow. But ultimately, they don't lose anything going for it, so not a bad look, not a bad attempt. And now the Shrine is active. And Slang Bros immediately going to go onto that. Lazy Hydra just walking forward, just trying to be a pain, is going to be stealing over that health. And non-champion dealing so much damage to the backline. Shadow Charge, they will pull Sovereign back, but does throw out the Iron Skin. Is still unstoppable. Calavoth taking a lot of damage. Adventurer just constantly throwing out that little bit of poke, and it's really starting to add up onto non-champion and onto Calavoth. Striking blow into the wall. Now the Condemn will land, but only onto Lazy Hydra. The Skeletons are pretty even, slightly in favor of Slang Bros, as the Hog Wild comes out. And this is why it's a very annoying hero to play against on this map. We'll be infinitely just jumping back and forth. Now the fight is starting to come through. Slang Bros have a noticeable advantage now, and they will be able to get Lazy Hydra. First blood going over in favor of Slang Bros. Now the Skull Missiles are at 25, but it's going to be First Blood and the Arcane Punisher pushing in for their mid lane. And they're going to siege up, and this is where Sergeant Hammer is at its finest, just being able to deal so much AoE damage to the wall, to the building, and from such a safe distance, especially when you have the Punisher just forcing back the defense into a much more defensive position. It's very difficult to play into Zimbo. Now, once level 10s do come out for Boogans, I think they'll have an easier time with this. Oh, but Zimbo is going to get pushed away, but now Lazy Hydra is on the back line looking. Only going to be able to get this one to final stand, who will be able to run away, so no one's going to be going down quite yet. Non-champion still trying to deal damage over in the back line, but it's not going to accomplish too much. They managed to get the wall, and they got over half damage onto the fort, so Slang Bros in a very good position now. They do need to finish off that fort in order to really start getting that advantage, that passive pushing pressure, but it's a very good start. It's a very good position to be in, as Sovereign is going to get thrown back into the team as the siege camp gets finished off by Sexy Exy. And there is 5 members down here on the side of Slang Bros, so they may try to pressure onto multiple siege camps. They are pressuring over onto the natural one. Look at the damage dealt immediately on Zimbo. Will get overpowered back into the line. Isaac trying to get the DPS, but not there. Sovereign able to keep the rest of the back line from approaching with the Condemn. And Lazy Hydra is here as well. Going to be using that Wraithwalk. Will get on top of Zimbo. One more auto, and they will be able to take down the Sergeant Hammer. The siege camp was finished off by Slang Bros, but being able to get rid of that hammer is also being able to get rid of pressure during the entirety of the respawn timer. Unfortunately, Sexy Exy, well, unfortunately for Boogans Forever, Sexy Exy has been able to take the entire top wall. So getting that one kill, losing the top wall and the siege camp, Slang Bros is happy with that trade. It definitely benefits them. Not having Sergeant Hammer right now really does not make a difference. They're even going to be able to steal away this extra siege camp. Now all 5 members are down here for Slang Bros. This is an uneven fight. The Leoric is roaming down, but not there yet. Calavoth is going to get the overpower into Sovereign, but no follow-up available there, as Zimbo is starting to get slowed down. But once again, no follow-up. They can get 1 player on top of Zimbo at a time, but they need to get at least 2 or 3 to be able to burst down the Sergeant Hammer. And they have been able to do it so far, but Slang Bros have been answering it across the map. Level 10s now available for both sides. Lazy Hydra is going to go in. We'll have the Entomb. Zimbo is kind of stuck, and all of the cooldowns, everything utilized. Is that enough? Zimbo will go down. Blessed Shield was used by Sovereign, so lots of the cooldowns are now gone. But at the end of the day, just going to be the 1 for nothing. And Sergeant Hammer will be up in time for the Shrine spawning. However, they're not going to be up in time to get the wave priority, to get the inside positioning on the Shrine. So even though they'll be there for the team fight, it is still slightly benefiting Boogans Forever on this trade. But they did use a lot of ultimates for it, but Slang Bros also threw out Blessed Shield. They threw out, what was the ultimate for Hogger? It is going to be the Shockwave, not the Hortipult this time around. Calavoth is looking for the fight. Will get onto Zimbo, and that's the target you want. The Chastise will not land. Just needs a little bit more damage. And Isaac able to finish it off. Entomb, final stand is stuck within it. And the ultimate coming out from non-champion also onto the backline. Sexy Exy is going to be okay. The Chastise does land on a Sovereign, but once again, they're able to delete Zimbo. And once Zimbo is gone, they can get the inside track. They can really start playing onto these skeletons. The fight is coming through. As I don't know how I forgot Durance of Hate, but that's where we are right now. Non-champion able to land it over the backside. And now Sexy Exy is going to get overpowered into the team. Cursed Bullet does land on top. Non-champion trying to find an angle and is at 39 stacks. 1 more for that second Skull Missile charge. But during all of this, the Lazy Hydra was hitting the skeletons, and the Mortar Punisher is locked in for Boogans Forever. Now, how much can they get from this? They also have the Bruiser Camp pushing up top. Did finish off the wall. And now the jump is going to be matched up. Sovereign just kind of tanking it. And Zimbo is now here to help clear away this Punisher. And the Punisher is already very low, but they do have Light Bomb. and everything. The Ancestral Healing not going to be out in time. And Calavoth will go down, traded with the time loop coming out from Adventurer, but 1 for 1. They will be able to clear away this Punisher and pretty much got the exact same value that Slang Bros managed to get with it over in the mid lane. About half HP. And now the fight for the Siege Camp is starting. Sovereign is going to be here first, but the Diablo had souls. Will be able to get here in time, but doesn't look like they will be able to start the fight. So Calavoth will just back away. They managed to get the push over in the mid lane, so a little bit of benefit for Boogans as well. But the Siege Camp stolen away by Slang Bros. We're at a very even map state. Until someone's able to finish off a fort, I think that's where we're going to be staying. And so far, every single team fight has been the exact same. It's been one of two ways, as non-champion does get gripped a little bit. Durance of Hate will come out. Lightning Breath over top, but there's no follow-up. Calavoth is the only one left alive. Is going to get pulled back, but will be okay. Calavoth, very low HP, as a pick-off now in favor of Slang Bros. And with the Mephisto gone, they can really start pushing onto these structures. This wall is not going to last for too much longer. We'll be able to finish off the gate. Dragon's Breath over top, and now Calavoth is going in. Iron Skin utilized, so Sovereign going to be able to continue just pressing onto Calavoth. Is very low. Dragon's Breath going to be just thrown out to help DPS onto the structure. And once again, they haven't been able to finish it off quite yet, but taking it out to 50%, that's very good for them, as they're still going. Non-champion is now back, going to look for that fight. We'll get the Skull Missile, so the Skull Missile talent is finished. And now Calavoth is going in onto Adventurer. Light Bomb going to be used, not going to land onto anyone though. And non-champion dealing so much damage with the Skull Missiles over in the back line, as they are looking for more plays, but it isn't going to match up. And these fights are very close. And again, they got a lot of damage, but the fort still stands. And what I was saying is every fight goes one of two ways. Either they, Boogans Forever is able to kill Zimbo, and then they win the fight off that. Or they can't kill Zimbo, and Slang Bros win the fight. So it's really... Zimbo is the main character of this game. Leslie's Hydra trying to get away, will have a little bit of health, but runs right into Sexy Exy, who will get the kill. But with that kill going over, they have 5 members towards the top side. Non-champion Isaac got a lot of damage done onto this fort. Won't be able to finish it off, though. But now Zimbo and Sexy Exy are looking to finish off the fort over the top side. Now Unstoppable has been utilized. Zimbo's available. Shockwave goes out over top. Lightning Breath on a final stand. Will be able to come out. And Thundercast will get taken out as well. And the Ancestral Healing just in time for just enough healing. And Slang Bros, they'll get a 2 for nothing. They'll get a fort. They have a full level talent lead. And this is where their lead starts opening up. As soon as the first fort goes down, the game becomes so much easier for them, especially on that Sergeant Hammer. They have more room to siege. They have natural pushing lanes. They will be able to start pushing earlier, as they do get the entire wall, and it looks like they might even be considering to go further. Now non-champion looking at Zimbo. Zimbo is very low. Zimbo will back away with around 300 HP. However, because they stayed for that extra wall, Lazy Hydra will be able to get this push over on the bot side. They are roaming onto him, so Lazy Hydra may need to try and run away if possible. And does see Sovereign, but has the fort, so should be able to run away just with that Wraith Walk, but taking so much damage in the process. Will heal back. So that's 1 for 1 in terms of forts. There's a little bit of a trading happening over onto this. Sexy Exy already at 32 skeletons. Should be able to lock it in. Slang Bros will be able to get this Punisher, and fortunately for Boogans Forever, it is the Frozen Punisher. It will be pushing mid, and their mid lane is already gone. However, because of the push that Slang Bros is getting right now, the priority they're getting, I was saying fortunately, but this might end up being their keep. This Punisher is not even going to be anywhere near Boogans Forever until the jump to catch onto it. Now the jump will stun too. Calavoth take a decent amount of damage from the lightning, or from the Dragon's Breath, sorry. And now Sovereign gonna get hit by the Cursed Bullet, and they look like they're engaging a fight. Durance of Hate does go out in the backside, but Zimbo able to cleanse it away. Sexy Exy now grouping over to the backside as well. Level 16 talents now hit by both teams. Non-champion taking out solo, and Blessed Shield is enough damage with the lockdown and the Punisher, but the fight's still going. Calavoth looking for another play. Lazy Hydra does come through, and the Lightning Breath coming out over top, but the Entomb never had a chance to come out, and they're able to take down 2. And now The Frozen Punisher still looking for the place, and they will be able to freeze onto Calavoth. Now they have the Temporal Loop as well. Will be cleansed away by Thundercats with the Leap of Faith. But they're already onto the core. Now, do they want to continue pushing for it? The answer is yes. Zimbo still looking for that angle. Not able to quite damage the core yet. Gonna start hitting onto it. Both everyone respawning. I don't think they will be able to end the game, but being able to take the keep is huge. And with this massive wave in the bot side, they will also be able to take down the fort. Slang Bros looking very strong right now. Have a level and a half lead. Have a full keep in the mid lane. And a fort in the bot. And the fort is even in the bot lane. So, very strong position for them. And as level 20s come out, it'll only get better for them. They do have piercing sands already for the Chromie. Level 18 is a power spike if you have that Chromie on your team. Now they are going to start sieging up for that top side, and Calavoth will find Sovereign, but it is just going to be the tank. Curse Bullet immediately going to get blocked away, and now the stun, the Temporal Loop, Shockwave, Light Bomb is coming through for Isaac, but it doesn't matter. They will get blown up beforehand. Lazy Hydra also going to get hit. Durance of Hate lands onto no one. And now Lazy Hydra is getting pushed. Zimbo just walking around auto-attacking freely. And they do have the Temporal Loop. And who's it going to land? They do have the Entomb over the wall, but do they have any follow-up? Lightning Breath will be coming out now, but not enough damage. They will get taken down as well. A non-champion getting hit with the Hog Wild. Staggering blow. One more auto from Sexy Exy, and that should do it. That was a 4-for-0. Lazy Hydra still trying to run away. Will be able to dodge away from the Dragon's Breath. Calavoth has respawned with the souls, but can they hold on long enough? No Lightning Breath for 68 seconds, and the Condemn and the Calavoth just gonna get blown up. And that should be it. Game number 1. Slang Bros able to win it in a very convincing fashion. Once that first fort went down, they put the pedal to the metal, and they did not slow down. They did not break apart. But now the fight is still going on. They haven't won yet. Isaac trying to delay. Lazy Hydra is up as well, but Lazy Hydra will go down. Do they have anyone else defending? I thought that they've already ended, but Isaac is still going to be there. Will get blown up by the Temporal Loop. I assume that's what it's called. Yeah, Temporal Loop. Okay. And with that being said, that will be game number 1 for real this time. Slang Bros take the lead in the best of 5. Well, that's a way to start a series. Absolutely banger match. Now, it was going to be the Sergeant Hammer Chromie, and you could argue that this win was because of that Sergeant Hammer pick and winning with that through the draft. And that is something that Boogans Forever will be able to adjust with very easily and very quickly. But the fight was close the entire way up until the moment that first fort went down. And that's what this game was riding on. That one fight over in mid where they were able to get the pick off on non-champion. And then into that got them the fort. And then they had the pressure to take the mid lane and the bottom fort. That's really where the game was lost for Boogans Forever. But what I'm really trying to get at is that it's 15-4 in kills, but that game was very close. And I think the rest of the series is going to keep delivering. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it's going to be game number 2. Don't go anywhere. Alright, and we're in a draft for game number 2 between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever. Or never mind, no we're not. Back to first screen we go. I had a feeling something was off there. Okay. Going back to break, we'll be back soon. Alright, second time's the charm. We're in game number 2 between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever. Map number 2, gonna be the Dragonshire. Now, let's start thinking about what kind of drafts could we start seeing. I think most things are going to remain the same. However, I would be surprised if Boogans Forever let Zimbo play the Sergeant Hammer again. Or at the very least, if Boogans Forever do let Zimbo play Sergeant Hammer again, they will definitely draft a little bit differently so they have more / better answers for it. They definitely struggled getting onto the backline, onto the Sergeant Hammer, especially with the Rhaegar with all of that. So, gonna be interesting to see how the drafts do change this time around. Boogans Forever do have first pick this time as well, so it does change things up. Now, same ban so far, but Slang Bros will ban away the Junkrat this time, so that's going to be a new little ban. As the Stukov will still get banned away by Slang Bros, and Boogans Forever will ban away that Lucio and Maiev, so gonna be interesting to see what does come out. Kalavoth is gonna steal away the Joanna, so Slang Bros not gonna be able to play that. As Urid is going to lock in the Anduin. And the Hogger once again for Sexy Exy. Definitely seems like the kind of pick that if it's available, they will definitely lock in, so very good pick. Now, Sergeant Hammer is still available, but so Boogans Forever could try to take it now. Might be a little bit early, but they will take the Chromie, so it's going to be Dahaka Chromie coming in for them right now. And Sergeant Hammer can get banned away in this phase. And especially with Chromie now being on Boogans Forever, I think it would be difficult for Slang Bros to lock it in. Especially since they do have to pick their next 2 heroes first. But they will instead ban away the Hanzo. They banned that away first phase last time. But this time they will let it through, but will get banned away in phase number 2. Now, Boogans Forever, they could still ban away a tank. Last time it was the Diablo that was played by Kalavoth. And interestingly enough, I just realized there has been a little bit of a swap. There is no Sovereign. for the side of Slang Bros. So will be a little bit of a substitution. Genji gonna get banned away from Boogans Forever, or by Boogans Forever, I should say. Very safe ban, just gonna try to get rid of the X-Strike like bomb combo that we all know and love to see. But none of us really like playing against it, so definitely good ban there. Now they do still need their DPSs, and they're going to go Sylvanas Yrel, leaving the 10th pick kind of available for themselves, leaving that flex position available. Could also be the tank, could be a third bruiser, could be another DPS, because Yrel can kind of main tank, so definitely depends on what Slang Bros want to play. Now Boogans Forever do need to lock into more. They need a healer for sure, but other than that, it is also pretty open. Their healer and their flex is going to be Rhaegar and the Grey main, so just going to be a pretty standard pick for themselves. Pretty standard draft overall for Boogans Forever. They do have extra range this time with the Chromie, and other than that, their draft is very similar. Dehak and Leoric do accomplish similar things, at least until the team fights do start. And then Isaac, once again, going to be piloting that Grey main. Now, final pick, the 10th pick coming out for Adventurer. Are they going to do anything fancy? Yes, they are. They're going to be locking in the Orpheus. So, it's 2 DPSs, 2 long-range DPSs, and this is a very interesting one. Very high skill, and it really just comes down to being able to outplay the opponent. Lots of skill shots to land, and very reliant on landing those skill shots. But if you are able to land them consistently, you're going to be able to run around the map. You're going to be able to deal 1 billion damage, and you can self-heal. So, going to be a very interesting draft as we head into game number 2. All right, and we are back. We are going to Dragonshire for map number 2 between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
So, gonna be interesting to see how they do play this. It is gonna be the double bruiser lineup coming out from Slang Bros with the Yrel and Hogger. I do expect to see Sexy Exy stay in the offlane, and Kalkin gonna be grouping with the team on this Yrel. That's my initial read on this draft, but obviously, we're going to have to wait and see.
10 seconds.
And the side of Boogans Forever is a pretty standard draft this time around. Easy to execute, and that's kind of the main thing.
4, 3,
but if Slang Bros are able to execute their team comp, I could see, especially the Orphea Adventurer, being able to just absolutely dominate this game. Interestingly enough, they're moving Zimbo up to the top lane, and it looks like they may try to cheese a little bit of damage onto this tower. But Thundercats is going to be there with the defense, going to immediately throw down the totem, and Calavoth will have the blind. And that is something that shouldn't be underestimated. Calavoth's blind does affect both members of the team, like both the DPS is coming out from Slang Bros. The blind is very powerful into Orphea, given that the passive kind of relies on getting those successful auto attacks. Now the fight is still continuing on top side. I thought they were just going to back away. But now Kalkin is starting to join in on this, as it's a 3v3 in the top lane and a 2v2 in the bot lane. Adventurer and Sexy Exy both trying to survive there. His on champion will get Adventurer off of the mount. Isaac barely able to dodge that staggering blow. I'm not even sure if Isaac saw that, but very interesting move coming out for them right now. Now it is going to be Kalkin versus the Lazy Hydra over in this top side. And it does seem like they're moving. I'm still not sure what these lane setups are going to be for Slang Bros. Sexy Exy has started on the Bruiser camp, and Calavoth and Lazy Hydra are seeing this. Their Bruiser camp has already been taken. Now Sexy Exy is going to get jumped on. The drag will not land. That's going to be a pretty major cooldown loss. Condemn, gonna get hit. The Leap of Faith has to get utilized by Yurid. And with the blinds, they should be able to lock this in. But now Kalkin is here. They're trying to fight for it. It is contested. Lazy Hydra starting to get low. Is in stasis. But Sexy Exy is also low and will get burst down. But now the Bruiser camp will get locked in by Yurid. But Calavoth trying to run away. They do not have a lot of health. Dragon's Breath is being utilized. So it's going to be 1 kill for the Bruiser camp secured for Slang Bros. So at the end of the day, it's still worth it for Boogans Forever. They were able to get their own camp and they got themselves an extra kill. It would have been even better if they were able to steal it, but they'll definitely walk away with that happily. Now the siege camp's also going to get locked in. Slang Bros finished theirs off earlier, but Isaac and Thundercats will be able to secure their own. But now the shrines have been activated both for Slang Bros right now, so they could look towards getting this Dragon Knight. However, Calavoth is playing defense, and Sexy Exy is actually playing offense, trying to take down this Bruiser Camp. And there's a massive push happening right now in this top side with this Bruiser Camp. Lazy Hydra taking so much damage, and with this gate, Calavoth is going to come in, try and help, because they need to clear this out. They've lost most of their top wall here. The Bruiser Camp will get taken down, but that's kind of the advantage of being able to get the Bruiser Camp later. Because if you get it after yours, they're going to not only be able to help defend the enemy Bruiser Camp when it's underneath the towers, but they're also going to be able to use their own to push in with no opportunity of defense there. And the Bruiser Camp was also finished off by Sexy Exy in the bot lane, so that's going to be another cannon tower that they're able to get. However, even with all these moves, Boogans Forever is still up in XP. They do throw the black arrows down onto this bottom cannon tower, but Zimbo going to get zoned away by Calavoth, so not going to get too much value out of it here. Now, it's going to be an interesting lane setup right now. It's 3-0-2 for Boogans Forever, as they're already pushing onto the fort. They're getting a lot of damage done. Kalkin is going to try and delay them. Well, I do need to learn these. It's Righteous Hammer and Staggering Blow. There we go. But now Kalkin is going to be running through. Will get the Righteous Hammer over onto Lazy Hydra, but the Hog Wild is coming through. Sexy Exy is now the backline, and it is the 5-on-3. Lazy Hydra will be going down here. Will walk away from the team to make sure that Isaac and Thundercats cannot get followed upon. So it is going to be the 1 kill going back over Slang Bros. And now the XP lead is definitely in their favor. Half a level for them. Calavoth is going to be here just trying to zone away Sexy Exy. And the Dragon Knight is getting locked in by Urine. And they will be able to get it just in time. So how much can they get off this? It is only 4.5 minutes. So this Dragon Knight not very tanky, not dealing too much damage, but should at the very least be able to get a decent chunk of this wall. Now, Isaac and Thundercats are the two that are going to be defending this. The tower is already gone. Dragon Knight taking about 20% of their health. The fort is still full HP, and they are going to start roaming down. They do have Sexy Exy getting so much damage dealt, but with the Hog Wild, we'll be able to just get away. The Dragon Knight, once again, getting continuously hit upon, and is a little bit nervous to walk forward towards these forts. They did manage to take out the wall on the bot side, the wall in the mid, and with the time stop, will be a little bit harder to continue moving forward as the wave gets cleared away. And while this is going on, they are pushing in this top side with Kalkin and Zimbo. Black arrows, I believe, have already been utilized, but they finished off that wall as well. So that's all 3 walls. Then they actually get a kill in the mid lane. Adventure and Sexy Exy able to get onto this Joanna. They're not going to be able to get any other push going on with this, but in the top side, they do have Zimbo and Kalkin continuing this push. Black arrows have been utilized. Lazy Hydra does now brush Stalker into the back line, and this is where the fight's happening. Zimbo kind of in a bad position. We'll have to use the Haunting Wave, but Isaac will be able to just get themselves the free kill. However, the siege camp in the bot side has been stolen. Non-champion is trying to clear it away. Shouldn't take too long. However, it is a 3-on-1 as the Hornipole does come out from Sexy Exy. Slowing Sands. Gonna get utilized, but non-champion is going to get locked up. Light Bomb does come out in the end, but not even needed as Slang Bros get themselves yet another kill. 3 for 2 so far. But now it's going to be a 3 for 3 in the spot side. Calavoth is aiming for Sexy Exy, but with the Hog Wild, will be able to safely get away. Still, no forts have been taken down yet. There's 3 on the map that are starting to get pretty low. The top and bottom one for Boogans Forever, and the top one for Slang Bros. Now, they are positioning aggressively towards the siege camp, but they are down an extra member. It is going to be that 4v3. Slang Bros will be able to secure their own siege camp. Those pushes are continuing to come through. Lazy Hydra will be able to get the drag over on a Kalkin, but will just be able to heal it back. Zimbo now roaming up top. Could look towards Lazy Hydra. Do they have the damage? Urid is also here. We'll go into stasis. Lazy Hydra just kind of running through. Isaac and Thundercats are also here. And now this is where the fight might start breaking through. Isaac trying to jump on a Kalkin. But Kalkin will be able to just get away. And now Zimbo is in a weird spot. So is Sexy Exy, but with the Haunting Wave, we'll be able to get away. The Bruiser Camps are now shoving in. Both sides have their own. Now Kalkin is jumping through. Calavoth is here. Will be able to get the Condemn onto 3. And the Blessed Shield comes out, but no follow-up available. So just going to be the usage of the stun. They will be able to get first priority over on this top side. But Calavoth taking so much damage. Adventure is just really dealing a lot of DPS. And with that, both teams are kind of resetting their aggression, but Lazy Hydra still looking for a play. Not going to be able to find the drag onto anyone. Now Kalkin is a little bit far up, will get dragged, but still has the Ardent Defender. And Kalkin will be forced to use it, but will not end up... Oh, sorry, it was on cooldown still, so... It got to be an extra pickoff for Boogans Forever, but level 13 is now hit in favor of Slang Bros as non-champion, dealing so much damage. Sexy gonna get burst out. One more auto, and non-champion will be able to lock that in for themselves as level 13 talent also hit for Boogans Forever. However, they lost their Rhaegar over, I believe, in the mid lane. I'm not even sure where that happened. A lot of fighting happening. Definitely would want 2 observers for this game just to go back and forth between these fights. Lazy Hydra able to get a little bit of damage over on this wall, but now Isaac gonna get hit by the Chastise, but the cooldowns are not there for Adventure. Calavoth is coming through from behind. Sees Kalkin, sees Adventure. Not going to be able to condemn anyone back in. But Lazy Hydra is going to be able to get the pull onto Adventure. But Leap of Faith, you're there at the right time, at the right place. The top shrine will get battled back in favor of Boogans Forever. But Calavoth might be a little bit too far up, even for a Joanna. Will take around half their HP. But ultimately will survive. Now Thundercats and Calavoth could be looking for the play. Thundercats going to try to lock it in just in front of Zimbo. And non-champion is in a weird area. Might be in a bad spot. Hog Wild is going to get utilized, but no follow-up. Gonna come through. The fight is happening in the top side. In fact, the top fort is the first one to go down. Isaac, Lazy Hydra, and Thundercats able to take it for Boogans Forever. And that's going to help them out a lot. Having that naturalized push on the top side is going to free up a lot of pressure for them. And they're definitely facing the pressure. Their top and bot lane fort are very low. So they're very susceptible to macro plays. But now they're moving down to the bot side. Going to be fighting for this Bruiser Camp. They are aware it's happening. And now Yurt and Sexy Exy are both back here. Lazy Hydra will not be able to land the drag. But now the fight is coming through. Light Bomb gonna land on to Sexy Exy. Sexy Exy's at 500 HP. Will get finished off with the Dragon's Breath. Yurt is gonna get hit down to half HP. But it's just gonna be the 1-for-0 in favor of Boogans Forever. And now they're clearing this away. Non-champion will finish off this wall. And they can start sieging all the way onto this fort. The damage is pretty high for them right now. Isaac and non-champion going to be able to deal a lot of damage from long range. Now they have the slowing stands on Adventure as well. Calavoth is looking for the play. Lazy Hydra is around, has a drag. Looking for the angle, but it is not there. But that doesn't matter because they were able to distract them. And the bottom fort goes down as well. Boogans Forever now definitely in the lead, at least in terms of buildings. And with that pressure, they're also going to be able to secure this bot side siege camp. The XP lead is back in their favor, albeit it's not a high one. But looking pretty decent for them so far. Level 16's about to get hit by both of these teams. Lazy Hydra will get it for Boogans Forever first, so very slight timing, but the siege camp is already finished. Sexy Exy is going to get burst down, though. Blessed Shield and the Cursed Bullet dealing more than enough damage to get that kill. Level 16 still not hit by Slang Bros. And the Dragon Knight might get locked in here. Kalkin Adventure trying to walk forward, but they will get zoned away, so Dragon Knight gonna get locked in for Boogans Forever, and this is gonna be their moment. Calavoth piloting this, and this mid lane fort is taking so much damage as well. They're gonna clear away the wave, and now they're on to this mid lane fort. They're going to kick Adventure away because who needs Adventure? Who needs the Orphea? And the DPS is real. Dragon Knight kind of getting a little bit distracted, trying to hit onto the next wall with the Fire Breath. But they do have the Bruiser Camp pushing over in the bot side as well. I'm going to zoom out so we can see a little bit of both of this, as Calavoth is going to be roaming down now. Now Kalkin is in the back line, and Calavoth is in a bit of a weird spot, but they do have the time stop, not able to get it in time. Ardent Sensor gonna be forced away though, so Kalkin's still gonna be forced to use a pretty major cooldown. Calavoth is in the backline. Bush Stalk gonna be utilized to go top, so it is 5 on 4. for a little bit. Calavoth is getting charged upon. And the Hortipool will get utilized, but perfect condemn timing. Wailing Arrow uses it as well. Calavoth still trying to get away. Ancestral healing will be enough. But look at that stun. Now Zimbo is in a very bad spot, but does have the healing. And they're all so low. Kalkin 50 HP, but will be able to survive. Now Adventure, somehow, everyone on Slang Bros, despite getting hit underneath the fort with no health, will be able to get away. Urine almost getting stunned up by that hourglass, but we'll be able to walk away. Boogans Forever. Lazy Hydra may have left a little bit early, but that play was almost in their favor as we're able to turn it back around on the Slang Bros. But now we're going to have a little bit of a respite as both these teams just going to clear up their camps. Boogans Forever taking their siege and their bruiser camp. And probably just kind of waiting on those level 20s. They do have level 18, and it's actually going to be Unraveling, not going to be Piercing Sands for an on-champion. So very interesting selection there. But Kalkin going to get taken down quite low. Cursed Bullet, very powerful ability against this Urel. Lazy Hydra is getting that mid lane push, and they're just constantly able to have the waves pushing in all 3 lanes. And that's the advantage of getting all of these forts down, especially on Dragonshire. It's so much easier to secure the objective, to secure the Dragon Knight, as now Lazy Hydra is fighting against Zimbo. But Lazy Hydra will be okay, just going to take a decent amount of chip damage. Should be able to heal it back up. And the shrines are now activating, and it does look like Slang Bros are not interested in contesting this at all. It's not going to be the level 20 push coming out from Boogans Forever, but Isaac will take the Dragon Knight, and this could be an opportunity for them to try and look for a keep, as they also get themselves the bot side siege camp for that extra little bit of pressure, that extra little bit of push. Now Isaac is going to walk over to this mid lane, just going to use the Flame Breath and then walk back down. Now this is where the real play is happening. The Flame Breath going to be utilized just to poke down onto Zimbo, but with all the healing should be okay. Isaac walking in now. Zimbo gonna get stunned away, but the Leap of Faith is gonna be utilized in time. And now the kick away gonna be used onto Sexy Exy, but how much more can they get? Level 20s now hit by Boogans Forever. It doesn't seem like they're gonna have the HP to get onto this keep, but Sexy Exy now just DPSing onto this Dragon Knight. Sexy Exy will get pushed away. Now the fight might be starting. The Condemn does land onto Zimbo. Zimbo once again saved by the Leap of Faith, and now the time stop has been utilized. Gonna be unstoppable. Sexy Exy is stuck in the middle. Will use the Hortipool defensively, and Urid getting caught out a little bit because it is going to be that extra slow and that extra spell armor reduction, and that spell armor reduction can get all the way to -50. So the amount of damage you can deal with the Chromie spells and even with the Cursed Bullet is gonna be a ton of burst damage. But now they're still able to keep pushing. Sexy Exy taking down to around a 5th HP, and with the flask landing as well. So much damage dealt. And Zimbo taking down a half HP. Almost the drag landing onto Adventurer, but not quite enough range. And they're just slowly but surely chipping away at this fort. It's slow, but it is sure. Slang Bros just trying to hold on until those level 20s. And Boogans Forever deciding that this push is a little bit too slow, are going to go take their bruiser camp over in the middle. The bruiser camp on the top side is going to get collected by Slang Bros, so they're at least able to keep control of some of their jungle. It is going to help get them to that level 20 faster, as Lazy Hydra is here as well, sees Zimbo, but not going to let anything else happen there. Siege camp's also going to get locked in by Boogans Forever, and it could just be one more teamfight victory. Boogans Forever starting to get a pretty solid push. Just need a little bit more to be able to lock in this game. But now last time they were able to get the Dragon Knight for free. Now will Slang Bros try to contest it this time? Because this time they do have those level 20 advantages, or those level 20 talents as well. So they are in an even talent here. The push is still favoring Boogans, don't get me wrong, but it is an opportunity, and I think they should try and fight for it. Otherwise, they will slowly but surely get chipped away. And Calavoth does see Kalkin, but the rest of the team for Slang Bros is there, so no aggressive play is available for them. And Sexy Exy is in this top side, but it doesn't look like anyone's here in time. Isaac going to try locking it in. Will they be able to get it in time? And Lazy Hydra will come out just in time to contest it. But no, Urid is here, and in fact, the fight is coming through. Isaac is fighting with Calavoth. It's Urid and Sexy Exy. But the Dragon Knight has not been taken. The fight has not been won by any of these teams. Lazy Hydra is coming through. Calavoth able to get the stun on multiple members. Still has the Blessed Shield available, but no, it has been utilized. Sexy Exy is very low. One hit and will get hit by that Dragon's Breath. And now Kalkin getting slowed. Does use the Ardent Sensor, but in the meanwhile, Adventurer getting run down at around 400 HP. One more auto, and Isaac will be able to get the pounce. And now Zimbo also getting hit by the Cursed Bullet. And with that, they should definitely be able to lock in the Dragon Knight. And that's going to be a big part of the DPS and the front line. Not there for the defense for the Slang Bros. So non-champion will lock it in. Isaac this time was a little bit further away, so will be the one being able to auto-attack onto these buildings. Doesn't quite have the same range as Chromie, but the standard DPS may well be higher. Now they're going to be able to get the damage onto Zimbo. Zimbo will blink away using that level 20 teleport down, but they do have the pullback. The drag will be able to get the Urel. The Kalkin is going to be down now, and it is 5-on-2. This could be a moment. Boogans Forever looking to end the game here. And I think with this Dragon Knight still at full HP, they should be able to do it. Boogans Forever even up the series, and it's 1-1 now. And congratulations to Boogans Forever for winning game number 2. And that's the second map in a row where it's really just came down to who is going to be able to get that first fort. So far in both games, whoever got the first fort was able to win because they're so good at being able to use the pressure off of that extra building take. Now, it is a best of 5, so the first 2 games are gone, but we're guaranteed at least 2 more, if not all 3. And that would be the storyline for the finals. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it's going to be game number 3. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we're into map number 3, Garden of Terror, between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever. Now, this is going to be a bit of a different map compared to the ones we've seen, because this objective isn't quite as powerful immediately since you have to gather all 3 seeds. It definitely opens up a lot more opportunity to play more macro, to play more split push, because instead of needing to win all 3 lanes like you do in Dragonshire, winning one hard enough is could be enough to just be able to win the game. And the objective itself on this map, each individual garden terror isn't that powerful. So depending on how it's set up, depending on where your waves are, the objective itself could be not super useful to begin with. So, gonna be interesting to see how both of these two teams try and play around here. Now the bans are gonna be different this time around, Ed. Most surprising is Slang Bros are going to ban away the Hogger. Sexy Exy gonna get subbed out for Sovereign. Kalkin is gonna be staying in. So that is going to be the major change in terms of their lineup. Slang Bros just constantly rotating players this time around. And Chromie and Lucio going to be our last 2 bans. So Chromie not going to be seen this time around. Has been picked in both games 1 and 2. So 100% win rate in this series, but no more. Kalkin going to lock in the Dahaka first pick for Slang Bros. Very powerful on this map. Very powerful on most maps, to be completely honest. But specifically this very wide, very tall map, being able to move around with a Bush Stalker is a very powerful ability. Being able to dig under, burrow wherever needed, definitely opens up a lot of the plays, a lot of the map for Slang Bros. Now Kelavoth and Thundercat's just going to lock in the Joanna Anduin. So it is going to be pretty standard for them so far. Still, and with Joanna and Anduin, it doesn't really lock in any kind of specific playstyle. Boogans Forever draft is still quite open. So it will be difficult to ban into them coming into this second ban phase. But Hanzo gonna get locked in for Zimbo, and Slang Bros kind of in the same vein, at least so far. We'll see what their third pick is, but Rhaegar, yeah, their draft is still very open as well. So both these sides haven't really shown their hands yet, just kind of picking good all-round heroes. Hanzo, I'm glad we're finally seeing Hanzo. Obviously, we see Hanzo every single game, pretty much. It is a very powerful hero, but it's also one of the most entertaining heroes to watch, in my opinion. The Dragon Arrow can set up so many good highlight plays. Dragon Strike, on that very, very, very rare occasion where it is a better selection, absolutely changes the way the game is played. So, gonna be entertaining to watch this. Now, Boogans Forever gonna ban away the Sylvanas. They did ban it in game 1 and beat it in game number 2, but it isn't something they want to deal with again, despite winning into it. And this time they don't have the Chromie either. So now Slang Bros, there's a lot they can choose to ban away. The offlaners are all still available, besides Hogger and Dahaka. So they will get rid of Leoric. Lazy Hydra did play that in game number 1. But insta-lock for Blaze, and Blaze is a hero I haven't seen in a decent while. Definitely fell off the face of the planet once the nerfs came through. I think Blaze is still pretty powerful. However, definitely is no longer pick ban like he used to be. But Bunker is still very strong ability. The auto attacks still deal a lot of damage. The push power is still definitely there. Just not as good at taking down buildings as before. And now Isaac, once again, going to be on that Greymane 3 games in a row. So nothing different there. And the 2 Diablo characters going to get locked in. Diablo and Mephisto. Both going to get locked in for Slang Bros. And Lunara, final pick for Boogans Forever, non-champion. And for any of you that were here in my cast last week, I've learned how much damage Lunara can deal to buildings. Being able to take down those walls, being able to take down those forts incredibly quickly. However, the team fight is looking very powerful for Slang Bros. So, really going to depend how these two teams play the macro. I think if the fights do happen, Slang Bros will win, but Boogans Forever has the advantage for the map. But now we're going to have to see how it goes in map number 3.
The battle begins shortly, heroes.
All right. And now we are in this game. Oh, Lazy Hydra for the seeds. My thing is bugged. I know that's the completely wrong seeds, but I'm not able to change them right now for whatever reason, and I didn't feel like figuring out how to remove them. So that's the complete blatant and honest reason why they're still there. But now Slang Bros are going to be grouping over as 5 in the mid lane, and it looks like, at least for now, both teams are just going to run immediately into the mid lane. Let's get this nice camera shot. But as I say that, all of Boogans Forever just runs away. They are sending 4 over to the bot lane. But non-champion and Isaac will come back towards the mid. And Lazy Hydra is roaming up towards the top side. So definitely going to be first move middle coming up for Slang Bros. However, Boogans Forever already set up in all 3 lanes. So we'll have a push advantage in every other lane except for mid lane. But between non-champion and Isaac, they should quite easily be able to clear it out. And now Calavoth might be in a bad spot. Will use the Iron Shield or Iron Skin in time. Sovereign not going to be able to get the overpower. Just enough shield available to keep Calavoth safe. And with that, not too much has happened around the map so far, but Slang Bros are consistently roaming between mid and bot lane right now. Now the real question I'm wondering is the talent choice coming out from Mephisto. Okay, it is going to be the Lightning Nova, so it's not going to be the Skull Missile build like we saw in game number 1 when non-champion did play it for Boogans Forever. Going to be a different type of Mephisto, focusing more on those AoE and consistent damage. Now Lazy Hydra gonna get dragged by Kalkin, but not a big deal. Blaze will be okay. Doesn't really take a lot of damage necessarily. Only the 2 tanks there. Now Champion will be clearing away their bot siege camp as the mid one has been taken by Slang Bros. So they do have first play over onto these camps. And now Sovereign is in the bush, and this could be a big play. They are going in. It is a 4v3 scatter over top, and Sovereign will be able to steal it away. But how about the fight? Isaac taking out very low, and first blood in favor of Slang Bros. Now Jet Propulsion does land. It's 5 members of Slang Bros here, but they will pull back Lazy Hydra. Thundercats had the leap of faith, and very solid macro play coming out from Slang Bros. They were able to get themselves the free pick, and now Calavoth might be in a bad spot as well. Does have the Iron Skin, so once again will be okay. Overpower, just barely not in range for Sovereign. But they have the double camp pushing. Well, 1.5. One of the 2 siege minions did die. So they're going to be able to clear away this wall very quickly. And non-champion is pushing over the bot side, but the push isn't quite as strong. And Final Stand will be able to defend against that. And they got the wall. They're still moving forward. The Condemned does land. And they do have the Jet Propulsion. It has landed onto Zimbo. But Zimbo will be able to just jump over the wall doing Hanzo things. And will be okay. At the same time, Kalkin, because of all the pressure in mid lane, has been able to get the top push for themselves. Now the Bruiser camp has been started. But Sovereign and Kalkin are looking for this. They do know what's happening. They got the drag onto non-champion. But no follow-up has been happening. Lazy Hydra gonna be zoning away Sovereign. And now Sovereign might be in a weird position. A Jet Propulsion does land, but just gonna be used to kind of prevent anything from happening. They were able to secure the Bruiser camp for themselves. So Boogans Forever at least get to keep that camp. Only lose the 1 camp and the first blood. But Slang Bros off to a very strong start. And now Yurid looking over at the sea, just kind of ignoring it, running over bot side instead. As neither side especially wants to go for the objective yet. The scatter arrows already fully stacked, by the way, at 3 minutes 30. So Zimbo, very strong enough, but Final Stand taking a lot of damage from the backline. Will be okay. Sovereign gonna dodge away from the Chastise. No follow-up is available. The seed is still getting pinged on the map. Just passively. But that's a lot of damage coming through as the level 7 talents are available now. And Calavoth does get the slow into Zimbo. Throwing out the Iron Skin will be able to get the slow as well. But Zimbo will be able to just jump over the wall and will be okay. But now Sovereign taking a decent amount of damage. Non-champion able to get Sovereign down to half HP. But the scatter arrows being finished stacking this early is actually a very big deal. It's a lot of extra damage. And once that level 16 talent comes through, as they are able to get Isaac, but with a leap of faith will prevent the drag. And that actually opens up a decent bit of the map for non-champion and Lazy Hydra. They are going to start going towards this Bruiser camp. However, Yurid and Final Stand are trying to come through as well. Calavoth it's distracting enough in the mid lane that they may be able to steal it away. But the fight is happening. Zimbo will get rooted up and condemned, but no DPS to follow up onto this play. Just needs a little bit more time. And Lazy Hydra and non-champion will be able to get away with the heist as they get away with this Bruiser Camp. Now Sovereign looking for a play, but actually cancels the Shadow Charge with a Jet Propulsion. So Sovereign will take the stun there. But the first seed does go over to Slang Bros. That is something they were able to get for themselves. Bruiser Camp is slowly but surely trying to push, but in a way this is actually bad for Boogans because they're not going to be able to collect the XP here. But since they got the XP from the camp itself, shouldn't be too big a deal. And I'm sure they're going to be happy regardless. Now the Siege Camp also going to get locked in, and both sides definitely playing a little bit slower. But Sovereign this time going to be able to get the overpower on Lazy Hydra. And Final Stand is roaming in for the hit, but not going to get too much DPS. As Zimbo taking a decent chunk from Isaac, but the scatter arrows dealing so much damage in return. And now top side going to be Kalkin versus Calavoth, but Calavoth running out of mana, no longer really there, not going to be able to help too much. But there's Shadow Charge does land onto Lazy Hydra, no follow-up. Second seed is spawning. Will Boogans Forever contest this one? They do have the level 10s now. Slang Bros should be able to match it very shortly, and now they do have their level 10s as well. So I'm wondering who is going to push for this right now. Lazy Hydra just kind of poking on a Kalkin who gets the dragon, gets a lot of damage back to Lazy Hydra. But with the Stim Pack, we'll be able to trade it back onto Kalkin a little bit. We'll get the little bit of the health orb as well. Calavoth walking in, sees Kalkin. The drag does land, and the Curse Bullet misses as well. Sovereign is available, has a Lightning Breath, throwing it out under Thundercats, and with a Dragon Arrow as well, and the jump, Zimbo able to get the kill onto Thundercats. And that should be enough to secure them this seed. They have all 5 members here. Non-champion still not there. Lazy Hydra trying to delay it, but they do have the drag on a Calavoth, and that could be another pick for them. Iron Skin has been utilized, same with Condemned, but with all these slows, the blind onto 5, but the damage coming through from Zimbo and Final Stand is too much. And it's going to be a second pickoff for Slang Bros, as they're slowly but surely winning out on these fights, winning out onto these seeds. But Isaac able to deal enough DPS to keep Sovereign and Yurid away for a little bit, but they will come back. Now the fight, Kalkin and non-champion. The poke damage coming out from non-champion is high, but the sustain coming out from Kalkin is even higher. As they are continuing to push, Durance of Hate lands onto Isaac. Leap of Faith will be out in time. Yurid will take a little bit of damage from the fort, but we'll be able to just walk this off. Zimbo very low. Lightning Nova from Final Stand dealing a ton of damage as per usual. And the Bruiser Camp is available. Do Slang Bros want to contest on this? They have been pretty aggressive in terms of trying to steal away camps this time around. And Calavoth will show on the bot side soon. That might be the signal for them to go. They will get spotted out by the Sentinels, so Boogans Forever are aware they're there. Level 13s haven't been hit by Slang Bros, but it is 3v5 on this part of the map. Now, there is a little bit of time before the Bruiser Camp gets taken down. Calavoth is running up top. Non-champion is off to the side of it, but someone would have to go in now. No one does, so the Bruiser Camp will get stolen away, and no fight will break out. So Slang Bros able to get themselves a very clean steal right in front of Boogans Forever. And with that, they should be hitting level 13 very short. Now they do have the stun. Ancestral Healing has been utilized as well. And now the Lightning Breath coming out, dealing as much damage to Isaac as possible. And the Durance lands onto both the frontliners. And Lazy Hydra is stuck on the wrong side and will get taken down. And the Dragon Arrow coming out from behind. Isaac and Thundercats both trying to get away. Curse Bullet lands onto Yurid. Final Stand just dealing damage with that Poison Nova and those Skull Missiles. Not enough to get the kill. And now the pullback not going to happen. Final Stand dealing so much damage with the Lightning Nova, but it's not enough for them to get the second pick. But the Durance of Hate just to prevent the reset. And that's going to be the third seed. Slang Bros in a dominating position right now. About a full level lead. And with his objective, Boogans Forever don't even have a single seed. So this could be a very good moment for them to secure this lead, get themselves the buildings, because that's the one thing they haven't been able to get yet, any of these forts. And now they are going to be able to get this fort down a half. This top fort should definitely be going down. But what more can they get? Can they get this wall in mid? Can they get this fort on the bot side? Lazy Hydra gonna try and prevent it. However, the entire roster of Slang Bros is coming down, and they were able to actually get a pick off. Diablo going to be going down in the mid lane. But Lazy Hydra is going to be getting played upon down here as well. They will get the Endurance of Hate, but the bunker comes out in time to prevent any of the follow-up damage. And we'll just use the DPS, the little bit of a flame streams from it, to be able to hold onto this bot side fort. Now Lazy Hydra might have a play. Will get the Jet Propulsion, not going to land on the final stand. But now the Condemn will be in range. They will run through into the Chastise. Final stand taking down quite low. Sovereign looking for the play, but the Dragon Arrow coming out over top. And now it's 5 members here for Slang Bros, but final stand is low. So they're not going to be able to follow it. It is underneath that fort. They might be looking for the siege camp. They might be looking for a play around this. Now Lazy Hydra is going to walk through. They did see the drag. And it looks like they are just going to give it away. Siege camp gonna get stolen for Slang Bros. And this is something they could use to push for this fort as well. Now final stand looking towards Lazy Hydra again. And they will be able to get the stun and the overpower. Lazy Hydra gonna get body blocked. Endurance of Hate misses, but it isn't needed. As an extra kill coming forth in favor for the Slang Bros. Now non-champion is trying to get some XP back, throwing out the wave in the top side, getting themselves that little push, but so far, every single game, whoever got that first fort has been able to clean up the game. And both sides have really not been playing super risky once they get that lead. Once that lead is established, they play safe, they play methodically, and that's why both these teams made it to the finals. Being able to secure victories once the lead is hit is a very important skill set to have. As a drag from Kalkin is going to deal a lot of damage over to Calavoth. Going to lose most of their HP, and with the seed spawning in 15 seconds, might be difficult for them to contest onto it. But Isaac going to blow up the gate, will get pulled under the tower as well. And the Dragon Arrow does land, and it hits on all the DPSs underneath the fort. So non-champion and Isaac are all low. Lightning Breath coming out over top, but they're going to be just barely out of range. But there is no fort here. Final stand, Endurance of Hate is going to land on a Lazy Hydra, and Isaac going to go down to Lightning Nova. Bunker is here as well, but now Lazy Hydra's on the wrong side. Thundercat's going to get caught as well. And now Calavoth, 600 HP, 200 HP. It will get hit by the auto. And Lazy Hydra going to get hit with the drag. And just like that, it's a 4-for-0 Slang Bros. Able to get something out of nothing. Able to get so much out of nothing. All started with that Dragon Arrow. And now they're pushing onto this top lane keep. They're pushing onto this mid lane wall. The seed doesn't matter when you can get yourself a keep. I don't think they'll be able to win the game off this. They don't have a wave. They don't have the health bars. And the respawn timers are quite low. But being able to get a keep this early off of one pickoff, or what started as one pickoff, is massive. And they're also going to be able to get themselves this mid lane wall. And a push over in the bot side is going to get caught by non-champion. So not too much pressure there. But it's a 2-level lead. They have the top keep. They have every lane pushing in their favor. And they're also going to be able to just get full jungle control. They will be able to steal this Bruiser camp. The only camp that is currently red is the Boogans Forever siege camp. And only one of them. The other one was stolen as well. And that's where Slang Bros is moving down now. They do have that player in the bot side. The seed has been collected by Kalkin. Now they're pushing 5 strong over to this bot lane. Level 19 about to get hit by Slang Bros. They're in a very strong position. And now they're just kind of setting up in this brush, going to steal away the siege camp, just trying to keep anything from going for them. And now the shadow charge and the overpower into the drag, into the Durance, but it's not going to be enough. Dragon Arrow over top is going to hit onto everyone. Ancestral heal, heals Sovereign. And Calavoth is starting to get quite low. Jet Propulsion lands onto multiple members, but there's just no damage following up. And final stand in the backline with the Lightning Nova, just dealing so much damage. Lazy Hydra will go down. Non-champion, one more auto will be coming through from Zimbo. And that's going to be another 2 kills in favor of Slang Bros. Now they can't play for mid. They don't have a wave, but they do have a wave over in bot side. So they can take this wall, and they could even start pressuring onto this keep. Endurance of Hate will get tanked by the Iron Skin. But it does land over onto the back line. They do have damage onto Isaac. Isaac getting very low. Will get pulled away with the Leap of Faith, but they can't defend anymore. And with that, they're going to lose their bot keep as well. That's going to be a 2-keep lead. Boogans Forever haven't even gotten a single tower or a single fort for themselves. Level 20 is now hit. A 2.5 level lead. They could look for this fight. Calivoth is going to get pushed back, but no follow-up. Dirts of Hate not going to land onto anyone once again, but Final Stand still out DPSing them despite jumping in. Now the mid lane has been pushed out. Second seed has spawned. And if they wait for the third seed, I think that is a win condition for them. It is 15 minutes. They had level 20 lead. They have 2 waves push. Well, all 3 waves pushing in for them, but mid wave has only the fort advantage rather than the keep. So once that third seed spawns, they lock it in. I think they could look to end the game here. They will have a major advantage. They're just collecting all the different camps right now. Just trying to slow down Boogans Forever from catching up to that level 20. Now Zimbo is showing. Might be a little bit far. Lazy Hydra has a little bit of a sneaky position. Oh, but the scatter arrow going to see most of them. Final Stand is going to get slowed up. And Lazy Hydra just going to reset, but they do have the backline position, and they are looking for it. Final Stand is going to get hit with the Ancestral Healing, though. And in the backline, it doesn't matter. Non-champion trying to DPS onto Zimbo, but it's not going to happen. Lightning Breath going out over the top. Calivoth taking down half HP. Non-champion went down, but Zimbo will go down in the end. It's 4 versus 4. Urid taking down to half HP. Bunker does come through. But do they have any kind of follow-up? Urid is able to just run away in Wolfen form. Now Isaac trying to DPS, but the Lightning Nova onto everyone. Lazy Hydra's down. Isaac will go down shortly, surely, but will be able to actually roll away. But that's still 4 versus 2 left on the map. And look at this double siege camp pushing mid. This could be it. Thundercats is the only one left alive, as Isaac does get locked up by Urid over on the top side. So it's just the healer, and I don't think the healer is going to be enough of a defense. Game number 3 is going to be going to Slang Bros as they hit match point. And another dominating win by Slang Bros. And once again, whoever gets first fort, whoever gets the first bit of map control has been able to win the game. And this has been consistent throughout this entire series. And frankly, for both of these teams, I've casted their semifinals. I've casted a lot of their individual games throughout the season. It's been true for them most of the season. So it really goes to show how well disciplined both these teams are. Slang Bros able to win out in the early to mid game a bit better than Boogans Forever so far, though, and that's what net them that 2-1 lead. Now we're gonna go to a short break, but when we come back, it's life or death right now for Boogans Forever. They need to win this 4th map, but so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. We are now match point for Slang Bros. Map number 4, Braxis Outpost. Slang Bros versus Boogans Forever. Bans already starting to come in. Boogans Forever gonna ban away the Lucio. And we're talking about first Fort kind of controlling the game. I don't think there's a map where this is more true than Braxis Outpost, one of the snowballiest maps in the entire game. So going to be very interesting to see how they're going to be able to go through with this. Now, once again, Slang Bros have brought Sexy Exy back in. Kalkin is now going to be out for game number 4. So with that being said, Sexy Exy, I'm not even sure if I have casted games where they were not on Hogger, but definitely most games I've casted, Sexy Exy has played that Hogger. Now I'm wondering if Boogans Forever will try to remove that just to get rid of the comfort pick. Now so far, Jess Healer's banned away. Boogans Forever typically banning away the Maiev here. Gonna be interesting to see if they go through with that, but no, they're gonna get rid of the Junkrat. So Maiev is available. And Boogans Forever will have first pick. Chromie's going to get banned away. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to lock it in themselves or if it's something they wanted to keep open. No, they're going to lock in Genji first. Very interesting first pick. Also, I know... Ooh. Oh, this... this is the ARAM map. We're going to go back to a short break. When we come back... Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, we'll be back soon. All right. Second time is the charm. So now we are on Braxis Holdout, not Braxis Outpost. So it should be the correct map. I assume it's going to be the same. Oh. Third time's the charm as we go to yet another break. Oh, this is starting to get fun. All right. It'll be happening soon. Don't worry about it. Okay, third time's the charm. Let's get going. This was an accidental DC. So, should be good. We're going to have Lucio banned away. I assume it's going to be the same bans coming through. I'm sure there's some kind of gentleman's agreement for this. I'm not even sure what the actual rules are for this, but I'd assume so. So, going to be the Junkrat, and then I believe we didn't see anything after the Genji lock-in for Boogans Forever. Slang Bros have the opportunity to do the funniest thing. Okay, no, they didn't. I wouldn't expect them to do it either, but would be kind of funny. Now, anyway, Genji is going to get locked in for Isaac. And like I was saying, it's a very interesting first pick. Maiev is still available for Slang Bros, so that is something they've been banning away. However, I'm not sure if that's been banned away from Zimbo, and Zimbo is not playing this game. It's going to be Final Stand and Adventurer for the 2 DPSs for Slang Bros, so not sure if either of them do play the Maiev. I'm not sure if that's something they do try to lock in, or maybe it's just terrible on Brax's holdout. I'm gold. I have no idea. But now, Dahaka and Brightwing going to get locked in as well, so gonna have a lot of availability for map plays. And this is one of those maps where winning hard through one lane could be enough to win the game. And being able to start fights and then have uneven numbers there is very big. So Dahaka and Brightwing going to be very powerful here over in this top side. And also very good, now that I think about it more, the Brightwing pick is also good because it's a good healer counter to Genji. Though Yurid has already locked in the Anduin, so yeah, never mind about that point. But now Deathwing and Diablo going to get banned away very quickly. And Joanna actually skipped the draft till second phase for the first time. Is going to get locked in by Sovereign. Now we just need the one more lock-in. And Sexy going to be on the Sonya, not going to play the Hogger. Now this is one of those maps where fighting in the 1v1 is most important in the offlane. You don't need to care as much about wave clear. You don't need to care as much about team fighting. If you're able to hard win the 1v1, you can go far on this map. Now waiting for the next 2 picks. It is going to be Muradin locked in for Calavoth and Gul'dan for non-champion. Gul'dan very powerful on this map. Very good at clearing away the all the Zerg that do get spawned once the points have been reached. It is very strong offensively as well. The corruption is able to absolutely shred enemies and buildings alike. So Gul'dan is very strong pick here. Very happy with that. And having a stronger defense does lower the amount of snowball potential. And Tassadar locked in for Adventurer. Same story as Gul'dan. So very good at clearing away the Zerg. Very good at sieging. Very good at poking. They both have very similar strengths. The main difference though is the ultimate. Gul'dan, actually even then, Horrify and Black Hole are very similar. If Understand goes Archon, then we can talk. But yeah, no, just very similar drafts, very similar playstyles. Just gonna see how well Isaac's able to play this Genji as we head into map number 4. All right, and here we are. Map number 4. Brax's holdout between Slang Bros and Boogans Forever. The seeds have now been fixed. Everyone rejoice. But even though the seeds are now correct, I don't think seeding really matters. As we've seen throughout most of the Nexus Division playoffs, every single team has been absolutely phenomenal. This has been a league that I've really enjoyed casting. Well, all of NGS really, but the Nexus Division has definitely been my favorite. Not to be super biased, just due to how close every team in the top 8 could beat every team in the top 8. That is not something that any other division has shown so far, at least not to the same extent. So I'm really happy to be casting this final, and thank you everyone for your support in allowing me to cast this final as we head into a pause. 4th time's the charm? No, I don't think so. Yurid, okay. Yeah, Yurid was the one that disconnected earlier, so just gonna probably another DC issue. Nothing major, hopefully. Should be able to just get back in time. And most interestingly enough, it's gonna be the fact that Boogans Forever have sent all 5 towards the bot side right now. So they could be looking for a play here. They could be trying to take out an enemy early on. But I think it'd be difficult for Boogans Forever to really make this play because there's really no one they can look for. Sovereign should be able to walk away because they don't really have a lot of lockdown on Boogans Forever. They have the Drag and the Polymorph and Stormhammer. Once they get a couple more talents, they'll be able to do more. but I think level 1 is going to be a bit of a struggle for them. They do a lot of damage. That is one benefit they have, especially non-champion. Able to, like, Corruption is such a powerful ability. 213 damage over 6 seconds and can stack up to 3 times. That's 600 damage. Let's just take a moment and look at Adventurer's health. We can't. Okay, fair enough. Probably because we're in a pause. Yeah, we can't look at anyone's health right now. But it's not a lot. That's about half the HP of this poor Cassia. Anduin's about in the same boat. I think Cassia has less health, actually. I'm surprised about that. Yeah, about the same. I'm just going to be checking every now and then through the chat. But, yeah, hopefully the pause shouldn't last too much longer. Yurid is restarting the game, which will be back in the game shortly. But as I was saying, this is going to be my last live cast of the season. I will not be available to cast any of the other finals since I will be unavailable. So I just want to give a shout out to all of you, the viewers. Thanks for allowing me to cast in the NGS this season. I've been having a great time. This is my first season here. Definitely not my last, though. I'm looking forward to coming back to go to the top. I'm looking forward to coming back later on. But it's going to be interesting to see as we're back in the next season. I believe it'll be season 19. Some casters like to go out of the game screen to a BRB screen. Well, I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed, but I will try that for the future. I don't even think I have a BRB screen set up. But now we are going to be back into the game. Slang Bros are going to be walking forward. Sovereign going to be checking the bush and will get stunned up and polymorph as well. Now Lazy Hydra looking for the drag, but not going to be able to land it. And if we had any doubts of them cheating, Sovereign would have never walked into the bush if they were watching my stream. So, definitely no worries there. Sovereign going to get slowed down. They're going to get hit by the Stormhammer as well. So, lots of poke going down. Yurid also gets hit by the Corruption. So, very big win for them so far in terms of damage. But they do lose a lot of top lane DPS. They lose a lot of the push. Lazy Hydra and Isaac going to be running between top and bot lane as much as possible. Calavoth looking over towards Sovereign, but Sovereign will be able to spot it out before they get onto the flank. And with the Stormhammer landing onto Sovereign, not going to be able to accomplish too much else. But Calavoth is going to get slowed down and rooted, and they're just trying to run away and will get taken down. First blood in favor of Slang Bros. Just as the beacons are going to be activating, so this is a very big moment for them. They're going to get onto their siege camp. No camp's going to get started by Boogans Forever. But Isaac is going to be walking through, just trying to deal some DPS. Sovereign and Yurid going to get poked down quite a bit. Thundercats is here now as well. They do have the first play. And Isaac, they are going for this fight. Lazy Hydra is on the point, but will get hit by the shock rate. And the Chastise will not be able to go to stasis. Will be able to go in time, actually. Sorry. But Isaac is still here. The Corruption lands across everyone. They're not able to win the fight quite yet, but it is quite close. Non-champion just trying to deal DPS over the wall. Thundercats gonna get hit by the Lightning Fury, but no follow-up gonna be coming in through there. But it is gonna be a little bit of a channel advantage. Azura does get stunned up by Calavoth, but no DPS follow-up. Corruption landing over top. Adventure gonna take a lot of DPS and will dodge away on the heal at the same time. But now Sexy Exy looking for this play, but is getting collapsed upon. They do have 4 members, but both stuns do miss. And we're in the pause, and I'm going to take all of you up on your advice. We're in the map selection screen, so interesting enough, something I haven't really talked about, but no one's won the map they've picked so far. So far, it's been entirely opposite. The winner of each map, it's actually quite pretty. We have like a nice little pattern slowly getting knit here. And that's going to be the fun point of this. And if we are back. So I'm still getting used to it, but they are going to be able to get themselves that kill over in this top side. So gonna get Sexy Exy will go down, but there is a push building over in the bot side, and non-champion is quite low and will get hit by the shock rate, but will heal just in time. And the entire bot side wall is going to be missing now. Yurid and Isaac fighting over for this bot control. Corruption does land, dealing some DPS. Lazy Hydra able to get a little bit of push power over on this top wall, but definitely not going to be enough. Now Calavoth is going to stand over onto this point. They're going to contest it. Sovereign is quite low, but they're able to take down the Gul'dan. And with that, the big part of their DPS is just not going to be there. Calavoth trying to stand on it as long as possible to help delay the capture of the point. And will be just roaming downwards. Has to wait for the Dwarf Toss to get back over the wall. Gonna still be a few seconds. We'll have it out in time, but Calavoth taken down extremely low. And the push continues on this bot side. Lightning Fury, currently at 14 stacks, is going to Lightning Fury build on Adventurer. But the top side control is favoring Boogans Forever, and that's kind of where the trade-off is. Both sides trying to win that one lane. And now Calavoth dealing a lot of damage to Sovereign, and Isaac is here. Just a couple more hits, and with the Fell Flame, we'll be able to get the kill. So, huge win for Boogans Forever, being able to get themselves that kill. It's 2-2 total. Sexy will be able to get the point back, but that's still 4 extra percent going over for Boogans Forever. And now Ancient Spear does land from Sexy. Not gonna last. And Thundercats will utilize the phase shift to get that heal back. And now the fight is going back down to the bot side. And both these teams just constantly brawling. Just like every single map so far. The early game has been full of non-stop action. And Isaac getting taken down quite low. Adventurer will be okay. Yurid healing them from behind. Now Calavoth is just trading with Sovereign. Both tanks kind of keeping each other away from the fight. And I do believe that benefits Slang Bros. Cassia is a lot more able to dive into the fights than a Gul'dan would be, or Genji can, but still, it's kind of more chip damage rather than all-in potential. Now Lazy Hydra looking for the drag, will land it, and they're going to get the polymorph as well. Just a lot of damage onto Sexy, but no kill pressure yet. The fight's still breaking through in the bot side, and no camp taken yet by Boogans Forever. As we are 5 minutes deep. Their bot forward is taking a decent amount of poke, but they're already at 64% on this Zerg. And now look at the damage hit onto non-champion, and will get blown up. Lightning Fury comes out from behind. And now the fight is coming through, and they're able to get the blind. Adventure dealing so much damage. And Final Stand will get pulled back. Isaac trying to deal damage to Yurid, and they are able to get the drag on Adventure, so they will be able to trade it back. 2 for 1. Slang Bros still winning out on that trade. And now they're going to be able to get a little bit of that percentage. And now Sovereign looking for the fight. Will get the stun on Yurid, and they're able to get a lot of damage. And Yurid will go down. Deflect coming out from Isaac to be able to get away. And that's going to trade it 2 for 2 throughout the entirety of this fight. But Sexy during this had control of the top side and will take that bruiser camp in favor of Slang Bros. Now the overall XP is still definitely favoring Boogans Forever, about half a level, as Calavoth just keeping Sovereign away, as the Corruption dealing so much damage to the backline. And Phase Shift's gonna get utilized just to heal up Calavoth. And they should be able to get it. That's going to be 100%. The Zerg Rush is coming. Most of it is gonna be pushing out through the top side, so small little bit of Zerg over here, one of each of the main ones, but this is where the real push is going to be coming through. And now the Bruiser Camp will delay it for a little bit. We'll tank some of those Banelings, and those Banelings can deal a lot of damage to those buildings and those walls. But how much push can they get? They are sending 4 to defend on this. And they do have a lot of damage. Isaac almost getting taken down just from the poke damage, and they'll be able to clear this out very easily. Final Stand with so much damage on that Tassadar, and in fact, they cleared it out pretty faster than Boogans Forever did. They were still able to take down the wall, so still a win for Boogans Forever. They did not have the wall beforehand. But now the fight is starting to break through over on this bot side. There is no points yet, so not too much to worry about. Level 10 now hit by Boogans Forever. Gonna be a decent power spike, but they do not have the health or mana bars to fight for anything yet. Isaac will be resetting. Lazy Hydra just gonna be pushing out that top side. As the Siege Camp this time gonna get locked in for the Slang Bros. Corruption gonna miss. Calavoth looking for a fight. Gonna miss the Stormhammer onto Final Stand. But now they do have a play. Lazy Hydra is here. Gonna land the drag onto Adventurer, but with the Leap of Faith will be okay. They're gonna be able to clear away the Siege Camp. Not too much damage gonna be dealt by that. But the fight could still break through. Light Bomb has coming through. It is gonna hit onto no one. But now the Black Hole zoning non-champion and Thundercats away. Lazy Hydra is in a very bad spot. Not gonna be able to burrow under, and that's gonna be a kill. And now the dive, the Avatar has come through. Calavoth will get healed up by the phase shift as well. So another big pick off for Slang Bros, and they're going to be able to push through this bot lane. Someone will need to deal with Isaac, but the push is very slow from Genji. Genji not exactly famous for the split push. Corruption and the Fell Flame will clear out this wave, so they're not going to be able to finish off this fort. But the Lightning Fury still stacking up. 31 stacks now onto Adventure. Calivoth already sitting on the point, just going to be kind of pushing on to Sovereign. And a lot of damage. Sovereign actually taking out incredibly low. But so is Calivoth. X-Strike coming out over top. Not going to be enough damage. Adventure going to be tanking a little bit of poke as well, as Isaac is starting to roam towards that top side. And that could potentially be the play, looking towards Sexy Exy. Isaac is here, going to jump over, just immediately start DPSing. And they are looking for the dragon. A big team fight over the bot side, 2-0 for Slang Bros. So they thought the play was going to be over top side, but they did overextend a little bit considering they did not have Isaac there. And that's going to be the bot fort. Now, are we going to see the first game where whoever won the bot fort is not going to win the game? We're going to have to wait and see, but Boogans Forever definitely going to be behind. And they also lose their Bruiser Camp. They're losing a lot on the map for this. Lazy Hydra will take the top beacon, but will lose out on the bot side. Now Isaac looking for the fight. They are dealing a decent amount of damage to Final Stand, but with a leap of faith, Final Stand will be okay. Now Sexy Exy starting on the siege camp, and they brought all 5 members towards that top side. But what can they really do right now on Boogans Forever? They need to push out these waves. Isaac is going to keep the beacon from coming through. Another contesting onto the siege camp. It is only just siege camp. The Horrify is going to be utilized. Fell Flame over top. And so much damage. X-Strike as well. And they're going to be able to blow up one. But now Adventure at 100 HP. Black Hole is coming through. And everyone is so low on Slang Bros. But the fight is coming through. Calivoth gets the stun onto the backline. Sexy Exy going to get slowed. Both at 1 hit away. And they're able to get them all. 4-0. Boogans Forever winning that team fight. And now this is where they can try to come back. They have the siege camp pushing. It is Final Stand. If there's one player you want alive to defend, it is Final Stand. However, I don't think there's enough that Final Stand can do here. It's going to get zoned away by Calivoth, and in fact might even get caught out, as the Stormhammer will get dodged away. So Final Stand will be okay. But that top fort will be removed. Those Zerg are going to go in favor of Boogans Forever. I don't think they even have the time. They could try and stop it over in this bot side beacon, but 100% is going to be hit now. So Zerg Rush is coming. This time only 18% for Slang Bros. Last time they were at around 40. So this is going to be a much more one-sided push. However, they do have everyone here. Everyone is set up for the defense. And there's still the wall that the Zerg have to push through. Now non-champion gonna use the corruption over top just for the extra poke. Fell Flame as well. And now everything is walking in. They've already taken down the wall. Definitely pushing better than last time. But the black hole does come through, and the light bomb over top. Calivoth is gonna get the Stormhammer on the backside. X-Strike as well over top. Adventure taken down quite low. Is burning down. The Fell Flame will get healed back. Calivoth will be forced to jump away. Isaac in a bad spot right now. Might go down. Is getting healed, but the Chastise does land. So will be a kill in favor of Boogans Forever. Now the lightning ball is bouncing back and forth. But the defense coming through. Slang Bros able to take down Isaac. They do lose their wall, but their fort remains strong. Now Isaac will be back as the next beacon spawns. However, the siege camps and the bruiser camps are available for Slang Bros, and there's no camps alive on the side of Boogans Forever. So it is going to be a little bit of an extra push pressure coming out early on in favor of Slang Bros, but will take some time before it really starts coming to in fruition. The boss is now up, and both teams definitely strong enough to kill this boss quite quickly if given the opportunity. But the level advantage is still in favor of Boogans Forever. They're looking for that level 16, about a level ahead of Slang Bros. But however, with those camps taken, it has shrunk a little bit. Now Isaac is looking from behind. They do have 5 members here for Boogans Forever. 5 on 4. Adventurer might be a little bit forward. Is going to get hit up. Horrifying. Going to get utilized. But the black hole going to keep everyone away. Now Adventurer will get hit with the light bomb. But do they have any kind of follow-up? They're still looking for the play. And now the 5th member, Sexy Exy, is here. And has that leap available. So now all 5 members of both sides over in this top lane. This benefits Slang Bros, though. They have the natural push in the bot lane. So if no one's in the bot lane, Slang Bros will naturally get the push. Now the siege camp is going to get taken down by Boogans Forever, so that's going to be a camp for them as they're getting very close to that level 16, and that's going to be a power spike for them. Should be matched, and they should have that lead for when the beacon first spawns. It could be a power play for them to try and get some more pressure, try and force down a bit of a fight. Level 16 now hit by Boogans Forever. And Slang Bros are just playing very passively. They are worried a little bit. Sovereign gonna get dealt a decent amount of damage. Isaac is here, Thundercats as well. But the issue is Sexy Exy is pushing through the spot side, but they're able to get a pull, they're able to get a drag, and they're able to get a kill on a Sovereign? No, will get healed away, and the leap of faith from Yurid gonna be more than enough. Siege Camp will be able to get a little bit of damage over onto this wall, but nothing to write home about. But that pressure will net them the boss, and that's what their level 16 is going to be able to get them. And they're also immediately looking for these beacons as well, trying to keep their pressure onto it. They got the bottom one for a bit. Lazy Hydra gonna get the top one, only gonna last for a few seconds, but they're gonna delay a little bit longer. But now Calvo, the leap does land, and the protection deflects coming through. Black Hole Isaac will just jump away. Ancient Spear lands on a non-champion. There is no forward. Calavoth needs to try and peel for non-champion. The Calavoth will be able to jump away in time, and they all get away. So they're able to get the boss. They're able to get 8% of the beacon, and the boss is just pushing out onto this bot fort, completely unhindered. Adventure gonna start DPSing now. And with that pressure, Boogans Forever gonna start pressuring back onto this beacon. They're trying to jump on the final stand, not able to get it, but the force wall is kind of zoning them away. The deflect is coming through from Isaac, but no one's willing to jump forth that far back. And now they are getting zoned away. X-Strike over top. Sovereign taken down very low. Still getting healed away. Lightning Bolt going through. Sovereign will go down, but it's still 1-0. The HP bars are very low on Boogans Forever. They will back away for a bit. Will get healed up. They do get the stun onto Final Stand. That's a very good target if they're able to get it. We'll have the stun as well. Now Final Stand will get taken down. Very low. Leap of faith. But Isaac able to jump in time. Light Bomb will land, but now Yurid is alone. Corruption is going to land, and Yurid has nowhere to run. Fell Flame and the drag. That's going to be an extra kill. And they're going to be able to start onto the siege camp as well. Boss was able to take out the bot fort and a good chunk of the bot wall. And now they have the Zerg pushing top. But most importantly, they've been able to clear it out very well. But they don't have Final Stand. Final Stand is not alive. This Zerg is going to land onto this wall without the tasks that are wave clear. So this is where Boogans Forever can really start pressuring, and this is where the snowball is really starting to come out. There is no talent advantage, but it is a level and a half lead right now. Not going to have level 20s with this push, but they may not even need it. Look at the amount of damage. Those Banelings absolutely blowing up this fort. X-Strike over top, and they're able to take down the Joanna yet again. And that's going to be the top keep down. And they're looking to keep going. They might look to end the game here. Final Stand is back up, able to wave clear. But the Zerg are already onto this wall. Black Hole coming out just to zone away. Only going to land onto the Lazy Hydra. And now they're DPSing onto this core. Calavoth forced to use the Avatar, but they're still DPSing onto it. It's at 60%. Leap not going to land onto anyone, and the fight is going through, and Boogans Forever did it. They win game number 4. We are going all the way to game number 5. And it wouldn't be a Nexus Division playoff game if we did not see a game number 5. This is the finals. Everything is on this. Whoever wins this next game wins the Nexus Division of the Season 18 NGS. Everything comes down to this one game. And we're going to go to a short break, but when we're back, we're going to see what map will be chosen to decide it all. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Now this is it. This is what everything comes down to. Map number 5, Alterac Pass. Now this map was selected by Boogans Forever, so if the pattern holds, which it has for 4 games, Slang Bros should be slated to win this game. But we've broken another pattern already in game number 4. The first 4 did go in favor of Slang Bros, but Boogans Forever were the ones to take the game for the first time in this series. It's always fun throwing out those statistics. They never actually matter, but it is fun paying attention to them. But the bans have definitely shifted a lot. Slang Bros banning away both Hogger and Stitches. Both new unique bans. And this opens up Stukov for Boogans Forever. It is something that they banned away consistently every single game, no matter what. And now there was another shift in Slang Bros. Sexy Xy's out, Zimbo is back in. And Chromie gonna get locked in for Slang Bros as that first pick. And then Hanzo and Joanna locked in. Isaac and Calavoth. And Hanzo has been banned away. Boogans Forever have yet to play it. It was played. I don't remember who played on Slang Bros. I think it was Zimbo. Yeah, it was Zimbo. Who played Hanzo in game number 2. So, what? I believe they did. No, they lost that game. So, the win did not go in terms of Hanzo. But still a very strong hero. As Diablo and Anduin going to get locked in as well for Slang Bros. And interestingly enough, that Zimbo on Diablo And with Sovereign, oh, so yeah, Sovereign is also out this game, and Kalkin is back in. So it does look like Zimbo is going to be main tanking for this 5th and final game. Now, Genji gonna get banned away by Boogans Forever as well, just trying to prevent that light bomb combo from coming through. Genji also pretty decent into Hanzo, able to deal a lot of damage back, as the Stukov will come through in the second phase for Slang Bros. Not gonna let that one pass by. It's now 2 picks available for Boogans Forever. They still haven't really opened up their team comp. They haven't really shown their hand. But with this, they will have to kind of show the core of their team composition. And it is going to be Rhaegar and Blaze once again. So, still pretty standard picks, but Blaze, very solid here. Very solid as a hero. Rhaegar as well, one of the best healers in the game. Hasn't really changed in a very long time, so very good picks coming out from Boogans Forever. And Slang Bros, they also haven't fully committed. With Chromie, typically you do expect to have a bit more poke-oriented or pick-off oriented. And it's going to be Falstad Leoric, so kind of a bit more towards that poke orientation, assuming Final Stand does go that Hammerang build. Though I have seen a couple games where the auto attack build has come through. I don't expect to see it as much this game, though potentially with Joanna and Blaze with a solid frontline might be worth it, but we're going to have to see as we get into game. It is the level 1 talent that really decides the build path for the Falstad. And the 10th and final pick is going to be Lunara for non-champion yet again. So going to be that solid hero, going to help them with that push. And backline assassination, especially into Chromie, it is going to be a bit harder because she does have that stasis. But Falstad could definitely get assassinated by non-champion. Pretty even draft. Both teams playing pretty standard in this time. And this is it. We are going into the final game of the Nexus Division season. Slang Bros versus Boogans Forever. Coming up now. Alright, and we are into Alterac Pass. Map number 5, Slang Bros versus Boogans Forever. Whoever wins this game wins the series and wins the coveted Nexus Division Champions title. So it's really going to depend on who's able to play just that little bit better. It could be that one little play, that one missed play could also be what both these teams remember. But regardless of who wins, regardless of how this game ends, both these teams have fought an incredible series. They have had an incredible journey to get to the finals, and it all comes down to this one game. Now both teams immediately moving all 5 towards the middle. And Scattershot immediately going to get 2 stacks for Isaac, so very good start. Gonna have a little bit of that extra. And another 4 stacks, so Zimbo taking a lot of damage already. 6 out of 20 stacks. 25 seconds is pretty good normally. Falcon gonna take a lot of DPS. A lot of poke damage coming through from this Hanzo. But Adventurer also has a lot of range, and as the levels go further up, gonna be able to deal so much damage with that Dragon's Breath. And with the talents especially, if they do go Piercing Sands at level 18, gonna be incredibly powerful. Now Isaac gets caught out a little bit by Zimbo, but will be okay. He's just gonna jump away and remount. And Alkelavoth looking for a play on a final stand, but nothing's going to be there. And Thundercats and Lazy Hydra going to immediately go towards the siege camp, and they're going to get it right on spawn. Urid and Adventure going to start it off as well, but will be a little bit late to the draw. And in fact, Urid's going to go bot side as Kalkin is going to help Adventure take down this camp. And Calvo doing a lot of damage towards final stand, and it is going to be the Hammerang build, by the way. It is kind of what I've expected. I do think auto attack can work sometimes, but I don't think this is the game for it. I think be able to just consistently burst out in the team fight and try and lock down the squishies is definitely the play that Slang Bros should be going for. Now Dragon's Breath just going to be utilized for poke for clear, as both these siege camps are now arriving. And Slang Bros did get theirs a bit late, but It's one of those things. It's a catch-22 because they got it later. They were behind on the tempo. But because of that, they have the cannon towers helping. And now this wave is going to stack into Boogans Forever. And it's a pretty big wave. Caliboth just going to walk in to help clear it away. Zimbo is going to get slowed as well. Jet propulsion going to land as well, but have to be careful. Zimbo does have the overpower available. And so much damage dealt to Zimbo on this Diablo. Lazy Hydra is going to have to run back top. Final stand just trying to slow down the rotate. Try and get a little bit more chip damage and a little less XP orbs going the way of the Final Hydra. But all of them are still going to be able to land. And once again, it's going to be the 1-3-1 for both these teams. We haven't really looked bottom for a while, but Kalkin and Non-Champion have been here just kind of poking away at each other. I don't really expect either of these two to have good kill pressure on each other, so should just be a pretty passive lane coming through here. But the prisoners are now spawning in. Final stand actually gets blown up. I was not expecting Lazy Hydra and Thundercat to have enough damage, but managed to catch the tail end of that as there's a little fight breaking up mid, but first blood going over to Boogans Forever. They're able to take down the Falstad. Not going to be able to push anything with it. But a kill is a kill. It's going to give them a little bit of that XP lead. And going to give them a little bit of pressure because now they're going to have to rotate around to match it. And Non-Champion's able to get a little bit of free time over on these buildings. And with that, a little bit of a dot. Typically, dots will get healed up by the healer, but you cannot heal the building, so very powerful coming out from Non-Champion. Good pressure onto this bot wall. And Calvoth and Isaac still playing here. 9 stacks currently for Scatter Arrow, 19 for Gathering Storm. Those are going to be the two main stacking abilities we are looking for. However, the Gathering Storm does scale infinitely, even if 30 is the major breakpoint for that bonus 15% damage. But once Isaac is able to get those 20 stacks, going to get those 2 extra Scatter Arrows. And with all the towns going towards Scatter Arrow, it will deal a lot of extra damage, assuming they can land anyway. Now the push is coming through. Slang Bros bringing in 4 towards the mid lane, but as soon as it crashes, they do start rotating down. Non-Champion needs to be a little bit careful, but they're not going for Non-Champion. They're going for the prisoner camp. It is going to get cancelled off the start, and I believe these minions will be able to get a decent bit of damage. We'll be able to take down one of the can towers, but now the fight has started. Jet propulsion has been used. And the oil slick is being thrown down by Lazy Hydra as well. They're on to Adventurer, both the frontliners, but Leap of Faith gonna get utilized. Jet propulsion lands on a Kalkin as well. And Kalkin gets slow. Has to use the Wraith Walk to get away. And they are able to get the HP advantage. They're able to get the push in, but Final Stand pushing out the top lane during that. It was 4v5 the entire time. And Zimbo still able to take the camp somehow in spite of all that. Non-Champion is going to try and defend this. And they do need to channel the whole 30 seconds, which is going to be the difficult part. They're going to take their 12 free second channel and just kind of get the little bit of a lead that they're able to get just through their macro play. Now the Bruiser camps, or sorry, not the Bruiser camp, the Siege camps are being taken. Lazy Hydra soloing the one out for Boogans Forever. And a 3-man group for Slang Bros going to take out the one on the left side. But Non-Champion going to be able to take themselves yet another building. And that's kind of where the XP lead has come from. Zimbo is going to get scouted out by Non-Champion this time with the Sentinel, so should not be able to sneak it like last time. And this is where the advantage of having the Falstad. It is the offlane Falstad, interestingly enough. Or pseudo offlane. It is the 1-3-1 build coming through. There's 100, or sorry, not 100, but almost 100 stacks have been reached. Level 10s now hit by both teams. The Entomb does come through on a Caliboth, but does have the Iron Skin. Will be okay for now. It gets hit with the Shadow Charge. Ancestral Healing will come out in time. Light Bomb going to get hit as well. But Adventurer getting dumped on from the back. And Urine takes the entire Dragon Strike. Will be able to heal up in time to survive. But that's a massive teamfight victory for Boogans Forever. And now they're still going. Zimbo is going to get slowed. Has the Overpower and the Shadow Charge. But Zimbo will get pulled out with the Leap of Faith. And a 1-0 for Boogans Forever. And very well played. Non-Champion able to just burst out this Chromie. And Jet Propulsion lands once again on a Zimbo. Zimbo starting to get quite low. Gonna get hit. Leaping Strike utilized as well. But now the rest of the team is here. The healing is here. Bunker is coming out. Isaac in a very bad spot. Will get saved by the Jet Propulsion. Kalkin is now no longer able to follow through. Non-Champion behind enemy lines. Going to reset. Going to Hearth out. Now Entomb gonna get utilized onto Lazy Hydra. It is a tankier member, but it doesn't matter when there's 5 DPSing onto it. As Temporal Loop also utilized onto Thundercats, will get overpowered back, but Zimbo went a bit too far and will go down. And Leaping Strike, non-champion, able to deal so much damage onto the backline. Dragon Strike, Adventure will get burst down, and you're stuck on the wrong side. Light Bomb will hit on it too, but there's just no one there to save you. The Anduin will get taken down as well. 4.4 seconds left on the channel, but they will be able to stop it in time. Zimbo might be looking to backdoor it. Thundercats is locking it in right now and will cancel the push. Zimbo is just going to be taking a decent amount of DPS. And Kalkin is here as well. And so they will prevent any kind of channel going back onto their own prisoner camp as the flight comes through from Final Stand as well. Lazy Hydra will take down the camp, but almost a full level lead now, about 3/4 level for Boogans Forever, has appeared because of that team fight. Isaac able to deal so much damage with that Dragon Strike. Most of the time we do see the Dragon Arrow, but the Dragon Strike able to accomplish so much. Non-champion is trying to cancel Final Stand, but Isaac is able to do that instead, and with a Leaping Strike will be able to jump back to safety. Now all 5 members are grouping together for Boogans Forever. Kalkin is a little bit behind, but is on the way as well. And now the fight onto Zimbo. They have the Oil Slick and the Jet Propulsion, dealing so much damage to the front line. Entomb over the backside, but they do have the Bunker, and the Dragon Strike lands onto everyone. They got 2, and Yuri trying to run away. Will get hit 1 more, and 3 for nothing for Boogans Forever. And that's a big team fight for them to win. It is Final Stand and Adventure. Both DPSs are still alive for Slang Bros. Can they stop them from channeling? If they're able to prevent it, they will be able to defend it. But now non-champion trying to lock it in. Kalkin has respawned, but the channel has begun. They are waiting on that time. They're going to be able to get the pullback, and Kalkin dies immediately after respawning. And throughout all this, Lazy Hydra is pushing out mid. This fort is taking a beating. So much damage coming out from Boogans Forever. And it does seem like they are going to be giving it back. Gust going to secure it. So now just a couple seconds left for both these teams onto their respective camps. Lazy Hydra using the Jet Propulsion just to get into position to defend on this. But they are sending Calavoth over to the top side. And Tomb gonna get utilized onto Lazy Hydra. And Lightning Breath as well. The Ancestral Healing is gonna get thrown out. Just trying to keep them alive. Thundercats able to survive for now, but Lazy Hydra will get taken down. Isaac holding it. Power Shot not going to be utilized in time. So they're going to be able to get the kill on Lazy Hydra. They're going to be able to lock in the prisoner camp. However, the first fort has gone down in the mid lane. So now level 14 lead for Boogans Forever. They do have the talent advantage. But I do think, yeah, Slang Bros will be able to get to level 13. I knew they'd definitely be able to from this wave. They got a full quarter level off that wave alone. But now they do have to deal with the cavalry. Most members are over to the bot side, but Lazy Hydra isn't back up. So this could be an opportunity for Slang Bros to get at least 1 fort back in their favor. Non-champion just trying to DPS as fast as possible onto this cavalry. Or what are they called? Alliance Cavalry. Yeah, they are called Cavalry. But now in the mid lane, they are taking down the wall. But in the top lane, that's where the real push is coming out. They will be able to secure this fort. So the fort has been tied across the map. Calavoth is playing off to the side. Has a Blessed Shield ready, but no one's going to be pushing in from Slang Bros. They are aware of this potential flank. And Calavoth is going to get caught out. Is going to be inside the Entomb. Does get the Condemn. And the Dragon Strike coming out over the top. Kalkin taking out a decent bit of damage. But so is Final Stand. So is Kalkin. Just everyone is so low. I don't even know which part of the fight to look at. But now Zimbo is going to be coming through. And with the Lightning Breath and the Light Bomb, they're able to take them all down. Isaac will get thrown out. Adventure got taken down to about 200 HP, but did survive in the end. And they were able to take down this top wall, a good chunk of it anyway, as well. Non-champion is still pushing out bot side. They will lose the siege camp, but non-champion could potentially look to boss, apparently. And with Leaping Strike, we'll be able to take this boss down quite low, just trying to get started onto it. As the top boss is going to get commenced by Slang Bros. Now, the Final Stand is here to defend it, if anything. It does have 65 stacks now on Gathering Storm. Haven't really had a chance to pay attention to any of that for a little while, but those stacks are still going through. Level 16 talents now coming through for Boogans Forever. And now they're coming through for this play. So top advantage is for Slang Bros. Mid advantage is for Boogans Forever. But over the spot side, final stand advantage is for Boogans Forever as well. As the final stand tried to delay but walked a little bit too far. Will get punished for it and will get taken down. Now this top boss is going to get matched by Isaac quite early. So we'll be able to start pushing it away. And there's no real objective for it until the keep. So now Zimbo trying to keep them from resetting because Isaac will need help clearing out this boss if they don't want to lose their wall. And Thundercats and On-Champion are kind of backing away, but it looks like they're not going to bother. They're just going to try and pressure with this instead. They will lose their top wall and should take a little bit of damage onto their keep. But the bottom fort will go down in favor of Boogans Forever, so the fort advantage is in their favor. However, the actual building damage within one lane is in favor of Slang Bros. Their top lane managed to get some damage on the keep. But now they do have jet propulsion. Has already been utilized in the Entomb. Onto Lazy Hydra. Will go into the bunker. Is alive. Dragon Strike coming out over the top. But Kalkin is going to be able to just walk away from it. But now they have the stun onto Zimbo. Zimbo is going to get saved with the leap of faith. And the fight is just happening on all sides. Gus going to prevent the fight. But now Zimbo is just caught out fully. Temporal Loop utilized onto Non-Champion. How much can they get out of it? Not too much. It is going to be a 1-0 in favor of Boogans Forever, as they are losing quite a bit of the health on their mid lane, but they're also pressuring onto this camp. It's going to be difficult. Adventure is still alive. Dragon's Breath has been utilized, but the wall has been pushed out as well. Now, do they want to start channeling onto it? Isaac going to be jumping over, and they will get started onto this prisoner camp. They already got 10 seconds earlier, so they just need to hold it for another 22 as of now. But they don't have any kind of level lead. And once level 18 gets hit by Slang Bros, they're actually going to be at an advantage until Boogans Forever hits level 20, just due to the nature of Chromie and that passive. They were able to take their siege camp, but 8.9 seconds is all that's needed now for Boogans Forever. If they're able to secure that in the end, that's going to be a pretty big push for them. They're going to be able to get a little bit more of an advantage. Their bot lane and mid lane is already pushing naturally, and maybe they can help even out that top lane. But it's really going to depend on if they're able to get onto it, because right now Caliboth is walking forward. They get the Dragon Strike over top and dealing so much damage to Kalkin, and they get the Dragon Strike as well. And Zimbo just taking so much damage at around half HP, and with the HP advantages, that might be enough. However, final stand has been split pushing on this bot side the entire time. The fight and the push is still happening, but Non-Champion able to secure that allied camp, and that should be it. They should be able to finish off this channel. And with 1 second left to go, it is going to be the cavalry spawning for Boogans Forever. They did trade it for their bottom fort, though, so they need to get something back for this. And how much can they get back for this is the real question. Lazy Hydra going to be shoving away the top side, just trying to get the waves in a position where they can really start pressuring with it. And it seems like they're going to do 1-0-4 style, where Lazy Hydra is going to push out the top side. No one's going to be in mid, and the main core of Boogans Forever is going to be playing out from that bot side. Final stand going to be matching the top side, and right now in mid, it's going to be a group of 3 for Slang Bros. And On-Champion just trying to delay onto it, dealing as much damage to Kalkin as possible. Half HP already gone. Just letting the cavalry push forward. And the top cavalry not going to be able to take down the fort, but they will be able to take down a lot of the wall. And now Caliboth is still alive. Going to get hit by the Entomb, but that's got pretty major cooldown utilized. However, Dragon Strike was also used. At the same time, they're going to be able to get this mid wall. They're going to be able to get a little bit of damage, and they do get the leap, and the leaping strike will take down Kalkin. Non-Champion will be able to back away, but now Caliboth is stuck. Dragon Strike coming out over the back, but with the Gus going to be able to disengage. Lazy Hydra still looking for a fight. Zimbo gonna get stunned up, but no follow-up. And with the bunker, they will be okay, and they got a decent amount of damage done over the bot lane as well. They got the bot wall. They're going to get damage over onto this bot keep as well, as the map is really starting to open up for Boogans Forever. They haven't evened out top, so this fort is still available, but the boss is also spawning in 20 seconds. I think they thought it was going to be earlier. I don't think they would have moved all 5 members top this early if they knew the boss wasn't alive quite yet. They do still have the siege camp they could pick up, the Knoll Pack, which is exactly what Slang Bros are doing. And now all 5 members are walking up top. They have the level 20 advantage, so they need to get something for themselves here. Level 18 has come through, and it is going to be the Piercing Sands coming out for that Chromie, which is typically what we see, but we have seen that extra buff onto the onto the slowing sands before. Granted, it is temporal loop this time around. Now both sides walking over top. Level 20s now hit by both teams. So we are at an even talent stage, and we're going to be there for the rest of the game. And it wouldn't be a game number 5 if it wasn't a close game. And so far, 12-3 in kills for Boogans Forever, and they do definitely have the advantage. But it is not one-sided. Calkin looking for a play, but will get dismounted by the blinding shield. And with the piercing sands, Adventurer is able to clear out these waves super quickly. But not going to matter too much quite yet. Right now, just trying to get that pressure. This mid fort is quite low, and in fact, the map pressure isn't even in favor of Boogans Forever, because Final Stand is able to accomplish that off in the side wave. And they're going to interrupt. Lazy Hydra and Isaac could be a potential play for them. Jet Propulsion gonna get utilized just to get some distance. Slang Bros, I don't think they realized how much of an advantage they had over in this top side as they get started onto the boss. And Boogans Forever kind of getting caught out in transition. It seems like they're kind of delaying where they want to go. They're onto this camp. They're not really onto the boss quite yet. And I noticed this in chat, but that is right. That's not going to be the Silence and Tomb. It's going to be Burning Despair. So it's just going to be dealing that extra damage in that AoE. Now, the top boss is gone. Bottom boss will follow. However, Zimbo is here. So is Final Stand. This is where the fight could be happening. Double Leap Strike, but the Blessed Shield not going to land. They do need to finish off this boss before more members arrive. The teleport has been utilized by Zimbo. Not trying to take it down solo. Lightning Breath. But with the extra healing, the Ancestral healing onto non-champion, they will have more than enough. Zimbo is still getting poked away. Lazy Hydra gotta get gusted away. And they're going to be able to steal this boss side boss as well. But who's going to be able to win the fight? They do have the Shadow Charge on Calivoth. Calivoth gonna get overpowered back into the backline. Jet Propulsion not going to be in time. Chastise able to prevent the stun. Scat Arrow still coming through. No one's gone down, but the boss is pushing in the top side. And now the Dragon Strike coming through into the choke point, but they're able to get through it fast enough. And this might be it. This might be the end, as they do get the stun onto Isaac. Isaac will go down. And the top keep is gone. The boss is pushing on the bot keep. Slang Bros, this could be your opportunity. This might be where you can try to end the game. Zimbo is going through and will get saved by the Leap of Faith. The Contempt will not pull them back, but it doesn't look like they want to keep pushing with this. They won't take down the bottom keep. They won't be able to get anything else for themselves. And now the core will be able to defend against it. However, they have started onto the cavalry. So Boogans Forever, they need to defend this, but they really can't. Not right away. 25 seconds until Isaac respawns. 15 seconds until Lazy Hydra. And they could delay for Isaac, but Lazy Hydra needs to be there for this fight. They're going to take the siege camp, try to get a little bit of push happening in the mid lane, but Final Stand has the flight, is already dealing with it. Lazy Hydra is back up, 20 seconds left on this channel, and this is the fight. Boogans Forever have to take this. This is going to be very difficult defense if they don't. Isaac is back up, is going to try and run as fast as possible to make it here. And still 4 seconds left. Calivoth is going to get stunned. And Tomb coming through. Lazy Hydra going to look for the play as well. They do have the Dragon Strike coming out over top. Only landing on to Zimbo. Zimbo gonna get taken down to half HP. Now the Gust, the Wind Wall, going to keep everyone away. Non-champion is going to get pulled back. Ancestral healing will come out of time. Thundercat's still alive. Same with the front line. But the Joanna will get taken down. Thundercats will be able to trade it back to Calkin. And Lazy Hydra looking for Adventurer. But they're kiting back with the Stasis, the Lightning Rod, and with the Hammerang, able to get the hurt. As Final Stand will get that kill. It's a 2-for-1. It is in favor of Slang Bros. They have the cavalry coming through. Calkin will respawn quickly. It is going to be that Leoric. Now they're going to try and just clear out this top side camp as quickly as possible. They're going to be at around half HP, but they have to deal with the core. Their core is under attack. You have to come back. Now they do have the Dragon Strike. That will be able to buy them a decent amount of time. Dragon Strike coming out over the top. Wolves on the way, but it's at half HP. Leap Strike used by non-champion. Final standing it out quite low, but they will take down Lunara. Isaac also getting jumped on in the back, and I think this is it. Slang Bros have done it. They have won the Nexus division. And all it took was one pick. Like I said, this game was still anyone's to win. And surprisingly enough, the pattern has stayed. Not a single team has won the map they chosen. But Slang Bros, they were able to bring it in. They were able to win it all. As they do win the Nexus division. They are the new champions. And that is such an insane game. It was incredibly close. Either team could have won it at any point. Now I'm going to see if we can get an interview. Because that's definitely the kind of series we need to have an interview for. Hopefully we'll be able to get someone, but let's move into the But either way, that was an absolutely incredible series. Could have gone either way. And in the end, I mean, I'm still lost for words because both teams just played so well. Isaac, look at the damage, 101k, doubling the second highest DPS. But they were able to win out in the last team fight. They were able to get the last push, and with that, they were able to win the game. And it does sound like we will have someone coming through for the interview, as it's going to be Urid. Hello, hello.
What's up?
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations on your victory. What's it feel like being the champions of the Nexus division?
I mean, it feels good, you know. It's definitely nice when you come back from like everyone that's beaten you in the normal season. Everyone that we played in the knockouts, they just obliterated us in the regular season.
Yeah, well, you brought it back when it matters, and this was definitely a very close fought series. How were the nerves on your team during this entire series?
I mean, they were pretty what's it called? My blood pressure was pretty high when we were trolling for 2 games, but you know what? It's alright.
Alright. Well, I do have a question though. I'm pretty sure I got this right, but so far in this series and throughout all 5 games, not a single map was won by the team that picked that map.
Can we move down like one more channel? Because one of the guy can't join the private Discord.
Sure.
Right,
where should we move then?
Team 1 is
4.
fine, I guess.
Team 1?
Whichever
Or
one.
coin toss map pick 4 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Everyone's
Hey,
here.
thank you.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, actually, I don't know how if that's actually true or not, but if it is, that's crazy.
Alright, so I guess not something that hasn't been kept attention here, but it from what I'm gathering, because typically if you don't have first map pick, you get first hero pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then every single map today has been won by the team that didn't select it. Just an interesting little stat.
Maybe that's the trick, man.
Yeah. After the Braxis holdout loss, I was like, it's okay, we get first pick.
Yep. And for anyone wondering who that voice is, Sovereign has also joined in for this interview. So I asked Yuri this before you got here, but I'm going to ask you the same thing. How does it feel to you to be the new champions of the Nexus division?
It feels really, really good. I really wanted this win, like a lot. I spent a lot of time just scouting. I just wanted to win a lot.
Yeah, shout out to you for that,
Feels so
bro.
good.
Because the past 3 games you've been cooking on the scouting.
After we won the quarterfinals, I was like, I got locked in. I was like, wait, we can win this thing. And I like scouted the semifinals. Like I like downloaded the replays and like watched people's POV and saw like how they pathed and where they were looking at, etc. Like how they like to play the game, and then I summed it all up for the team.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't even think we're actually like playing seriously till like the knockouts. To be honest, I mean we didn't start scouting. We didn't do any of that. It was just log on, play the game. That's it.
100%. And with your team dynamic, because you played a lot of different players throughout this entire series, just constantly going back and forth, would you consider that a huge advantage for yourselves? Because it definitely does make you harder to scout, but at the same time, it's probably harder to build synergies when you play like that, no?
I mean, it really depends, honestly. I know at least for everyone else, they're really good on the heroes that they play, and even on the one that they don't often play. They excel at it pretty well. It's really great. What's it called? Like today, for instance, we were trying to do something game 2 with
We cooked too far.
Yeah, we cooked
That
too
was
much.
burnt.
We burnt. Yeah.
Was that the Urel tank game?
Yeah.
Ural was not a tank. Ural was
Well, like the
offlaner.
double
They're like, wait,
bruiser thing.
who's tanking?
Yeah.
Hogger can be 4 man. Okay, but okay. And then that's what happened.
Definitely cooked too much there.
Yeah.
No, but I know it's good. I mean, it really comes down to it's really good when you know what the enemy team is really good at. For instance, like these knockout matches, I know they're really good at like Anduin, so we just snipe it. Or they're really good at like, I don't know, like Joanna or whatever. We just take it from them because our hero pool is so vast.
Yeah, that was definitely we saw that they have really good light bomb combos and also very good Stukov follow-ups, which is why we banned Stukov so much. And so our idea was kind of, there's a lot of priority picks. Take out the Stukov, pick the Anduin, and then they don't have their bread and butter follow-up combo positions.
Yeah, but even throughout all that, the series was neck and neck. Even in that final game, you were behind for a decent chunk of it. It could have gone either way. So
I was watching on the sidelines with like.
Oh no, we were cruising. We were cruising. Trust me. We were just putting on a show for the viewers.
Perfect, and we all appreciate that. I'll tell you right now.
I did stop some show for the viewers. Apologies. There was some Cho'Gall calls, and I shut that down. So that's on me. I apologize.
Yeah, no Cho'Gall feels bad. I don't think it got played throughout the entirety of NGS this season.
We should have. We should have got. Yeah.
Not even in the play. Wow.
Damn.
But I have one final question for you two, and is there any shout-outs you'd like to give with this being the last game of your season? In fact, the last game of the season for the Nexus division.
I gotta go. My GOAT final stand. Thank you for inviting me, letting me cook on all the healers. Thank you to Saab for scouting. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to you for casting. And that's all I got.
I'll follow up with the final stand shout out. I used to be team captain for the past like 4 to 5 seasons, but my work schedule changed, so I dropped out. I honestly didn't think I'd play any HOTS this year. And Final was like, hey, you free Sunday? And I'm like, I'm always free on the weekends. And then he brought me in, and I actually got to play a lot this season. And he's been doing a great job captaining and setting everything up. Outside of that, everything you had said. And then also, you know, NGS as a whole. And then my girlfriend and friends who are watching at home. Shout out to them.
Let's go.
All right. Well, it was definitely nice meeting you. Thank you for taking the time to answer all these questions. And once again, congratulations on your huge, hard-earned victory.
Time to get drunk and...
All right. Thank you so much again.
Yeah. Well, bye-bye.
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 All right, and with that being said, we're going to be finishing up here, and this has also been my final live cast of the season, so I would also like to give my shout-outs. Huge shout-out to the NGS. Huge shout-out to Raka for helping me getting started. Pelder, The Sound, both have helped me a lot during some of my early casts. Helping me whenever I got any of those really big mistakes happening, just trying to get everything sorted. This was my first season of NGS. I've been loving it. This community as a whole has been fantastic. I'm excited to keep being a part of it, and you'll definitely see more of me next season. And I will be streaming a few more casts on my channel. I will be trying to get some replay casts going on, but will likely be earlier in the day compared to the usual times. And I will also be trying to cast some Heroes Lounge games for our friends across the pond in Europe. So if you're interested in watching some kind of game like that, if you want to see some kind of live HOTS, definitely be sure to follow my channel, and you'll get the best cast you can, or that I can bring at the very least. So thank you all, and have a good night, and thanks for coming.